On the gridiron or courtside, you know what time it is. It's
Sports plus life. Sports plus life.
ringside or front court or field pass, we ballin' no. Knuckle up or buckle up. I tell it like it is when I'm on my show. Home run, slam dunk, knockout, or got to go.
Sports plus life.
Yeah.
Sports plus life.
Ah.
Yo. What's up? What's really good? It's your boy Brandon Brevon Towns, host of that show called Sports Plus Life. You feel me? It is so much stuff to talk about today, bro. So guess what? Turn it off, turn it all the way off now. Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious. I should have got started on this a little bit earlier, but you know what? I got started when I got started. It is what it is, but today is going to be an absolutely busy and jam-packed show. Please allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Brandon Brevon Towns, host of that show called Sports Plus Life, that there sports podcast where we talk about all of the necessary topics in sports and all of the necessary topics in life. You know what's crazy is that I've been saying that little spiel the whole time I've been doing this podcast. I didn't write it down or nothing. It's something that just kind of came organically, and I just stuck with it. I don't know. I guess I'm just giving myself a little pat on the back. Don't pay me no damn attention. But anyway, yes, this is going to be a jam-packed show of Sports Plus Life. I hope everybody is doing wonderful, and I hope everybody has a wonderful and beautiful week. Shout out to my family, my black and gold fam, and my fam in general. I hope everybody again is doing well. It is now. It's fish. It's Christmas season, dog. We are in Christmas season, dog. All right, it is officially Christmas season, and the only reason why I did not open the show with a Christmas jingle is because this is going to be such a jam-packed show. I still have things to do outside of this podcast, so I want to get to it. I may not even have as many background gags that I have as usual because I got a lot of stuff to do. I keep myself busy. That is a great thing, but shout outs to everybody. Definitely also shout out to Heather's Craft Haven. I'm still going to shout out and give that information about my sis, Heather Redford, Heather's Craft Haven 2021 at gmail.com, TikTok at Heather's Craft Haven. She does what she does very well. Tumblers, keychains, bookmarks, ornaments, t-shirts. They're made to order. Holla at your girl. She from Highland Springs, y'all. Let's support her. And not only that, she's from Virginia. And she's from that place called Humanity. So if you listen to this, no matter where you're at, hit up Heather's Craft Haven and get some good stuff made. It's Christmas time. Let's get them ornaments. Let's get them custom-made ornaments. I'm going to get a couple. You damn sure am. I already got a shirt. Damn sure am. So anyway, without further ado, people, let's get to it. Oh, it is a prediction league Monday, and what I thought yesterday was the best week of the NFL because of the slate of games that they had and the importance of the games that went on yesterday. Now, as far as the prediction league goes, as of right now, your boy held it down. I'm trying to tell these people, I'm trying to tell my brethrens, my homies, my amigos that I do this shit very well. As of right now, I have taken the day. Now, we still have Monday Night Football. We do still have Monday Night Football to contend with. But with all that being said, again, as of right now, I took the week so far with 11 right. Second is Calvin with 10. Everybody else is okay. I think Sean got 8. I don't know. Let me see. Let me look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, Sean got 8. I know he's the next closest. But yeah, man, your boy do his thing when I get a chance to do my thing. Now, see, here's the thing about it, because if somebody else wins or was to win this prediction league, and right now it's not looking well for you guys because I'm just good. I'm just better than y'all at this, okay? Simple. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say it. I'm not trying to be braggadocious. I'm just telling it like it is. I'm better than y'all at picking football games. Now, my only personal problem is I'm better at picking win-loss games as opposed to individual players like I be trying to do on FanDuel. That's a whole different ball game. But let's just say I don't win, which I would be very happy for whoever does win because it's a competition. Of course, I want to win, but it's a competition that I created, and I would be happy if somebody else was to win, because what I would do is I would get a trophy made, maybe a t-shirt made, something to commemorate the first year of this prediction league. But it looked like the person who's going to win the prediction league this year is the person who created it, the master himself. That would be me. Biatch. But, we still got about 5 weeks to go, so anything can happen. Wink, wink. But, let's get into the review of this NFL week. We start with Thursday Night Football. The Buffalo Bills are starting to reestablish themselves, I guess. I would say that, in the AFC East, by defeating the New England Patriots 24-10. That was a huge loss for the Patriots, even though they're 6-6 and still in the wild card hunt. I don't know how that is looking right now with them losing at home to Buffalo 24-10. Mac Jones, I was about to say Mac 10. Oh, Lord. Mac Jones, old McCorkle. He had a little sideline temper tantrum, said he was just trying to get his teammates revved up. Okay, I'll take that for what it is. Too bad you still lost. On the Sunday's games, the Pittsburgh Steelers defeated the Atlanta Falcons 19-16. Every time, why haven't I learned my lesson with the Atlanta Falcons? One of the few games that I got wrong yesterday was picking the Atlanta Falcons to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers at home, because I see a good team in Atlanta, but I see a team that just doesn't win when they need to win and when you expect them to win. I mean, good Lord. I mean, like, come on, man. Win the damn game you need to. I said the Falcons could win this division because Tampa Bay just doesn't look any good, but that whole division just sucks. Whenever you think that, whenever Tampa loses and they keep losing, nobody takes that division by the throat and say, okay, Mr. Brady, you're not going to go to the playoffs this year. Case in point, Atlanta. On the Chicago, Aaron Rodgers just said, I still own you. I still own the Chicago Bears. Even when the Bears got out to a double-digit lead, when it got to a one-possession game in the third quarter, I was talking to Calvin. I said, yeah, Aaron Rodgers gonna pull this one out. They're still gonna beat the Chicago Bears. The only thing I'm gonna say is this. If you're a Green Bay Packers fan, enjoy this domination over the Chicago Bears now while you have it, because it ain't gonna last long. Because Justin Fields, it's like every time the Bears lose a game, Justin Fields looks absolutely magnificent, and you can't blame him, and he's the quarterback. But it is what it is. Green Bay ends their losing streak. Well, they won a couple weeks ago against Dallas. They're not mathematically eliminated, but I don't think anybody's seeing a playoff run from them. Only thing that was proven yesterday is Aaron Rodgers still has mastery over the Chicago Bears. In Detroit, hey, has anybody realized something? The Detroit Lions have been playing really well over the last month. They beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 40-14. Jared Goff was dealing yesterday, 340 yards. The Lions have won 4 out of their last 5 games. Their only loss was last week in last play of the game on Thanksgiving to the Buffalo Bills. Detroit is low-key balling. They're playing for Dan Campbell. I guess they want him to stick around as a head coach. And again, as we saw early in the season, they have an explosive offense. It just during the midseason, they turned back into the Detroit Lions. But now that offense has started to peak its head again, and they're putting up points. In Minnesota, in one of the very important games, the Minnesota Vikings outlasted the New York Jets 27-22. If you watched that game, which I did, the Jets clearly outplayed the Vikings. They just couldn't score touchdowns. Oh my goodness, on that 4th and goal, if you're Berrios, you have to catch that pass. Mike White played well, 369 yards. And that Jets defense, even though they got down early, that defense gets it. They will hit you. They wrap up. They know how to tackle. But nonetheless, the Minnesota Vikings go to 10-2 with that victory over Gang Green. Justin Jefferson, another touchdown catch. In East Rutherford, New Jersey, and another big game between two of the teams that hold the wild card spots in the NFC, the New York Giants and the Washington Commanders. Biggest game I've seen between Washington and New York in quite some time. And wouldn't you know it, the game came down to a draw. In a game where early it looked like Washington might dust them, then the Giants came back and it looked like they would hold on for victory. Taylor Heineke threw a touchdown pass to Jahan Dotson to tie the game with just a little over a minute left. They went to overtime. Each team had the ball, multiple possessions. Nobody scores. I really wish they would put the overtime quarter back up to 15 minutes as opposed to 10, but they tied 20-20. Now, coming into the day, the entire NFC East was in the playoffs, and I actually believe, I believe it got a little dicey with some circumstances yesterday, but I still believe that each team, that whole division is going to make the playoffs. I actually think in the grand scheme of things that tie might help Washington and New York when it comes to making the playoffs. So now Washington is 7-5-1, New York is 7-4-1. Washington has a bye week, and then in 2 weeks they come back and play the Giants again. It's funny how that worked out. In Philadelphia, and another big game between the first place Eagles and the first place Titans. Only one of them teams looked like they belong in first place, and that was Bird Gang, bitch. They demolished the Tennessee Titans 35-10. Yo, bro, I'm going to tell you something right now. Jalen Hurts is the MVP as of right now. All my mans did was throw for 380 yards. And did you see that 1-2 punch tandem and wide receiver? A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, both of them putting up over 100 yards. Devontae scoring a touchdown, A.J. having 2 touchdowns. Anybody trying to question the Philadelphia Eagles, this is what's so funny to me, is that I watch these shows on ESPN and FS1 and CBS, and I really think they're doing it for ratings. How they sitting there saying that they got the Cowboys rated over the Eagles, I think it's just purely for ratings, because you cannot be serious. Ever since the Eagles lost to Washington and had a close call against the Colts, they've come back the last couple weeks and have busted ass, particularly yesterday against a team where a lot of people thought the Titans would win, including one of my homies, Marquise, who's supposed to be an Eagles fan. Yeah, I put you on Front Street like that, bro. 35-10. The Eagles are now 11-1. Best record in the NFC, best record in the NFL. They're looking great. In Baltimore, hey, the Ravens beat my Broncos. Big surprise. And by a whopping score of 10-9. What was more important about that game is that Lamar Jackson got hurt. And I was actually mad when he got hurt because I'm a football fan. I don't want to see Lamar Jackson get hurt. He's my favorite player in the NFL. But this game was lost in typical Denver Bronco fashion. This game was what summarizes the Denver Broncos season. The defense played awesome. They played lights out. And guess what? The offense couldn't score no damn touchdowns. We had 3 field goals. Denver's defense was had the Ravens on lock all game, even when Tyler Huntley came in. But unfortunately, I don't know if it was fatigue or whatever, we stopped them on that 4th down quarterback sneak. I don't give a damn what you say. We got hosed with that one. We stopped them dead to rights. But the referees, they gave it to Baltimore. Tyler Huntley led the drive, give him credit, 91 yards. And what do? We can't score. So defense plays great. Offense plays horrible. We lose again. I mean, we gave up 10 points. And we still fucking lost. I mean, goodness gracious. But I'm glad that Lamar Jackson's injury is not going to take him out for the rest of the season. But boy, the Ravens got some issues on their hands, even with kind of a cushy schedule. I'll explain why the Ravens got some issues on their hands in a little bit. On to Houston, Texas. Deshaun Watson made his NFL return after 700 days because of all of them massage cases going on. The habitual dick shower is back in football. And how did he look yesterday? He looked like I thought he would look. Rusty, timing not down, not very good. But somehow, some way, the Cleveland Browns won 27-14. The Cleveland Browns won 27-14, and they didn't even score an offensive touchdown. They had a defensive touchdown. They had special teams touchdowns. Hey, you can really call that a team win because everybody scored a touchdown except for the damn offense, and that should let you know how bad the Houston Texans are. I don't know why David consistently picks them to win games. I said this last week. Nobody picks the Texans to win more than David. They are 1 and shit. That's what the Houston Texans record is. As for Cleveland, Deshaun Watson, well, it's going to take time. And obviously, you can't just jump right back into professional football and think that you're going to look like the top 5 quarterback that he was before all of this drama ensued, before he couldn't keep his wang in his pants, and before he missed 700 days all over a season and a half's worth of football. That'll come with time. But, hey, at least you got the win, bro. In Los Angeles, the Rams, who a lot of people think are packing it in, Matthew Stafford has gone on injured reserve. He ain't coming back this season, y'all. Don't let it fool you. No Aaron Donald, no Allen Robinson. Rams are supposed to have no chance, right? Well, they did lose yesterday, but they did show a good account of themselves against the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks won 27-23. Geno Smith continues his comeback of the year season with 367 yards. Tyler Lockett had a $128. And Seattle, I think that train is starting to derail, but I don't know now. That they would be the one team that could keep the entire NFC East from making the postseason, because God, that Seattle offense looked good, but their defense still ain't really much to write home about. And why do I think the Seahawks have a definite chance to make some noise? Because in San Francisco, in another huge game, while the San Francisco 49ers beat the Miami Dolphins, who had won 5 straight games, 33-17, Jimmy Garoppolo broke his foot and is out for the year. Enter Brock Purdy. Rookie quarterback Brock Purdy.
Who the fuck is that?
Brock Purdy.
Is his last name really Purdy?
Yeah, nigga. His last name is really Purdy. You know, this is the first person I've heard of with the last name of Purdy since Jada Pinkett's character on The Nutty Professor, Miss Carla Purdy. But, yes, Brock Purdy entered the game and played pretty well. I didn't see much difference between him and Jimmy Garoppolo. Look, this is one thing we know about the San Francisco team, because they have such talented players on offense and the number 1 ranked defense in the NFL. All you have to do is be a good bus driver. But Brock Purdy is known as Mr. Irrelevant. Why? Because he was the very last pick in the NFL draft. And all for the last month and some change, I've been saying 49ers Eagles NFC Championship game. That may have just changed. I have to see more, because see, now I'm not saying that he's not capable, because what I saw yesterday against a very good Miami Dolphins team, he looked okay. He looked pretty good. I mean, I know Kyle Shanahan is going to design an offense to pretty much make sure that he doesn't screw it up, or as much as possible. I mean, Kyle's not playing the quarterback position himself. But man, did the 49ers just take a hit, I think. This is one of those things where I have to see it to believe it. Are the 49ers still capable of going to the NFC Championship game, possibly the Super Bowl? Yeah. But I have to see that one to believe it now. But here's the funny part. Incidentally, on the Carolina Panthers bye week, they just cut Baker Mayfield. I mean, that's bad. You on a team with P.J. Walker and Sam Darnold, and you just got cut. But if you're Baker Mayfield's agent, or if you're Baker Mayfield himself, this may have been the best thing that could have happened to you, unfortunately for Jimmy Garoppolo, because here's the question. Do you sign Baker Mayfield now? You know, as an insurance policy, a quarterback who has actually been to the playoffs. And again, can you teach him the offense just enough to where if you get into the playoffs, he can be the bus driver for you? I don't know. San Francisco improves to 8-4, first place in that division, but they're very interesting now, so we'll see. On to Cincinnati. I told them boys in the chat yesterday, you better believe in Burrow and them Bengals, as they beat the Kansas City Chiefs for the 3rd time in a calendar year, 27-24 in Cincinnati. Burrow and them boys. 286 for Burrow, touchdown run, couple of touchdown passes. Jamar Chase made his return, 97 yards. Bro, this is one thing that gets on my nerves. I understand, Kansas City has been the most consistent team in the AFC over the past 5 seasons, but here's a question that's constantly been getting asked. Who's the biggest threat to the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC? It was unanimously the Buffalo Bills for the majority of the season. Why? Maybe the question should be, who is the biggest threat to the Cincinnati Bengals? Because last time I checked, they're the defending AFC champions. They're the ones who have the Chiefs number, and they're the ones who right now are rolling. Remember when they started 0-2, we was like, uh-oh, Super Bowl hangover. Maybe they didn't fix that offensive line. But ever since that 0-2 start, the Bengals are 8-2. 8-4, tied in first place with that division. That's why I said the Ravens got some problems, because if you're missing Lamar for any amount of time, I still trust the Bengals to win that division. I don't know what to say. I love the Bengals. I love what they're made of. Burrow is a damn great quarterback. Wasn't sold on him in the first because he was getting so much hype coming out of LSU. I know he had that great Heisman Trophy winning season, but I'm like, damn, can I see what he looks like in the pros? The first couple games I was like, oh no, they got it. this motherfucker legit. They just got to get a line to protect him. We didn't think they had it the first month of the season, but this is what happens when you bring in a whole new offensive line and they don't play it all in preseason, hence importance of playing preseason games. Now that line has gelled. Burrow's not getting sacked as much. They still have the best skill position players in, and as far as a collective unit in football. We're going to forgive Tyler Boyd for that damn drop touchdown pass of walking just because the Bengals won the game. But I'm talking Mixon. Now you got to say P-Ryan, because P-Ryan has looked good replacing Mixon. Chase, T. Higgins, while Chase was out, established himself as a legit number one receiver. They're going to have to pay that man. You want to keep this together. You got Tyler Boyd on contract throughout 2023 season. So after next season, Boyd will be a free agent. You may want to try to keep him too. You're going to have to pay Chase top dollar. You're going to have to pay Higgins top dollar too. So that's going to be interesting to see. But the Cincinnati Bengals, to me, you should be asking that question. Who is the biggest threat to them Bengals, okay? Because they're the team, to me, they're the defending AFC champions. They got Mahomes' number. And look out. Look out. And also, another team to look out for, all of a sudden, the Las Vegas Raiders have won 3 straight games.
Bye, bitch.
Ever since Derek Carr was in a press conference crying and it's hard to sleep and doing all of that stuff, the Raiders ain't lost. Think about this. Whenever somebody makes a fool of themselves in the media, the team after that seems to go on a roll. It happened with Washington and Ron Rivera. Now it's happening with the Raiders. And it's for the Los Angeles Chargers. That clock's ticking on Brandon Staley. I'm telling you right now, clocks are ticking, dude. Raiders 27-20. Over the Chargers. Devontae Adams, a $177. Dude is just arguably the best receiver in football. Sunday Night Football in Dallas. The Cowboys scored 33 points, or 31 points in the fourth quarter, something like that, to beat the Indianapolis Colts. They blew open a close game, 54-19. Now, this is what I got to say to some of you Cowboy fans. Not all of you, but some of you. Y'all ought to be a goddamn shame to yourself, pumping y'all chest out the way y'all are for winning that game against the Colts. Don't y'all know that this is y'all MO? This has been y'all MO in the Dak Prescott era. They find struggling teams and they beat up on them. They beat up on struggling teams. The Cowboys beat up on teams who are not good. As soon as they take a step up in competition, we all know what happens. So 54 points. Now, this is what the Cowboy fans will say. Well, they almost beat the Eagles. Remember, the Eagles had to score late. The Eagles only beat them by 1 point, and we just put up 54 on them. Let me explain. Let me explain for all you dumbass, bitch-ass Cowboy fans. First of all, we have seen that before where you get you get a jolt, a shot in the arm, a team gets a shot in the arm, and then they win a game that you didn't expect them to win, and then they come back and they're competitive for the next couple of games. Let me give you an example. Last year, the Carolina Panthers, when Cam Newton came back, they won a game in Arizona you didn't think they would win. Then they had a couple of really close games that they ended up losing. When the Colts got Jeff Saturday, he's obviously been very good at motivating them. They went out and beat the Raiders. Nobody thought they would do it. In Vegas, then in his home opener as head coach, the Colts were inspired to play. They gave the Eagles a really great fight. The Eagles had to pull it out, snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. And what's happened since then? The Colts have gotten their ass kicked the rest of the way. So the Colts are a bad team. They're not a good football team. Dallas just beat a team that is not good. Hey, granted, you won the game. You're 9-3. I see. Clearly, you've separated yourself. With this injury to Garoppolo, maybe the NFC does come down to Dallas and Philadelphia. Or maybe Philadelphia and Minnesota. We shall see. But some of y'all Cowboy fans need to be a goddamn shame to yourself for gloating the way you've been gloating. Give me a break. The game was in doubt in the fourth quarter against a 4-7 football team. Pump your brakes. So that's the review thus far for this week in football. So, I mean, again, very important games. Playoff seedings, what are we looking like right now? Playoff seedings are as follows in the AFC. With Kansas City's loss to Cincinnati, the Buffalo Bills are now number one again in the AFC. So as of right now, the road to the Super Bowl in the AFC goes through Buffalo. Then Kansas City. Baltimore again feels like they're hanging on by a thread. If they better hope they can get Lamar back soon. I still got Tennessee winning that. I still got the Bengals winning that division. Tennessee comes in at 7-5. They don't have nothing to worry about. They're going to get in the playoffs whether they're a third seed or a fourth seed because the rest of the AFC South is trash. Now you got wild cards. The Bengals 8-4. Look out for them. The Dolphins 8-4. The Jets, despite the loss, are still in the last wild card spot at 7-5, thanks to losses by the Patriots and the Chargers. In the NFC, of course, Philadelphia, 11-1. Best record in the NFC, best record in football. The Vikings at 10-2. Nobody believes in them. Nobody. The 49ers just got dicey for them at 8-4. Tampa Bay 5-6. How the fuck? The whole NFC South is trash. The wild cards, now Dallas 9-3, Giants 7-4-1, Seattle leapfrogged Washington by way of percentage points. With that tie, I still think the tie will help Washington, but as of right now, the Seahawks have the last wild card spot at 7-5. So it's getting interesting. It is really getting interesting. Prediction League Mondays never disappoint, especially when I got my peoples that I always do the phone interviews with. And of course, I'm starting off with my bro, Sean. What it do?
What's good with your player?
Oh man, what was good was a 35-10 beatdown over another first place team. How you feeling?
Man, you know I'm feeling good about it, but you know they out here hating on us, trying to be great and shit. No, it was a good ass fucking game though. Despite all the penalties that we fucking had, I was about to lose my damn mind. I'm like, all these fucking goddamn penalties.
Yeah, the first drive of the game, right?
Yeah. Like it seemed like it was like every play was a damn false start or a home.
Yeah.
I'm like, God damn, bro. But
yeah.
Even with all of that, we still bash they motherfucking asses. AJ Brown is a motherfucking beast. Devontae Smith is a motherfucking beast. And we don't even have all of our weapons. We still don't have Goddard over there.
Right.
So, I mean, it was good to get Jordan Davis back. We needed him. King Henry only got 30 yards.
Oh, they shut him down.
Shut him down. And I know it's the addition of Jordan along with Lynn, Joseph, and fucking Sue.
Yes.
And we got everybody back.
Yes.
Scary. Almost lost Quez Watkins. You know what I'm saying? Another person that I deem is going to be necessary in the playoffs. Because everybody's going to scheme for everybody else, so we're going to need all our legs, so that's scary. I'm liking that Reed Blankenship is stepping in for TJ. He's not really being missed, although, I mean, that's a great player. We had an all-in-all good game yesterday. Never once did I feel like we were going to lose it. We just rolled on over them motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because at the beginning, it looked like, I never thought that the Eagles would lose this game, but at the beginning, particularly that first drive when they got so many penalties, I'm like, Lord, are the Eagles going to make this harder than it has to be?
Yeah.
You know, but when they flipped that switch, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was on and popping there.
I said this earlier, just a few minutes ago. Right now, Jalen Hurts is the MVP. No question.
He is the MVP because you had Mahomes lost yesterday.
Tua lost.
He lost Tua lost. I mean, who else is there at the top? Josh Allen, he's been out of the race. All his loss shit they've been catching.
Yeah.
I mean, who else is out there? Tell me.
I think this is Jalen's MVP to lose now.
It is to lose. As long as he went out, it shouldn't be an issue.
And like you said, you're getting pieces back. You still don't have Goddard. With adding Sue, now you got depth at that offensive line. And like you said, Blankenship gives you more depth at the defensive backfield. Man, the fact that I hear on ESPN and FS1 and CBS, I think it's all for ratings. Them saying that the Cowboys should be put ahead of y'all, or that analytics is saying the Cowboys have a better chance to get to the Super Bowl is outright laughable, and to me, strictly for ratings.
It got to be for ratings to get more people because, I mean, granted, the Cowboys are pretty good, but they ain't doing nothing we ain't fucking did.
Bro, I just said this before we got on the line because I was doing a review and the last game, of course, was a Sunday night game. I said to the Cowboy fans who are out here poking your chest out after doing that to the Colts, you ought to be a goddamn shame to yourself. Have y'all not figured out that the MO of the Dallas Cowboys, they beat the shit out of bad teams. The Colts are a bad team. And if you want to give the compare and contrast, well, the Eagles only beat them by 1. Let's take this into context. Let's take the whole situation into context.
Yeah, y'all lost to Green Bay, and we beat Green Bay, so now what?
But exactly. But think about it. The Colts was all pumped up because they got Jeff Saturday as their coach, and he motivated them. They beat the Raiders, and then they came back. It was his home opener. So they was pumped up to play him again. The Eagles was coming off of a loss, and sometimes you need games like that where you snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. I gave an example last year of the Carolina Panthers. Remember when Cam Newton came back? They beat the Cardinals. Everybody hype, all Superman back. What happened? Ain't won another motherfucking game.
And the Cowboys got a bunch of easy-ass people. The same shit they was complaining about us earlier this season, they got that schedule right now. They playing the Texans next, and they play the Jaguars next.
Exactly.
I don't want to hear that shit, but we'll see them on the 25th of December.
Bro, when they take a step up in competition, they will fall. I mean, because the Giants, I know the Giants were 7-3 on Thanksgiving, but the Giants are really, really beat up. They were really, really beat up. But yesterday in general was such a day for big games. Speaking of the Giants, what did you think of that tie with the Commanders?
Man, did I ever fucking love it. Just when you thought shit was not sour. It's like how the fuck when we need them to fucking lose? I mean, it couldn't have been more perfect. Both of the motherfuckers losing. I mean, you can ask for a better thing.
Oh, well, I remember I said this in the chat. I said I actually think that tie is going to help both teams.
Yeah.
Just because of the loss factor. Neither team lost, but they didn't win either.
They didn't win either. That's just stupid. Yeah, it probably gonna help the Commanders more than anything.
Yeah, because the Giants, boy, they beat up, and I think y'all gonna serve them their ass next week. I know it's a division game and this, that, and the third.
Bro, you know how I feel about division games. I don't like to talk shit about it.
Yeah.
we play each other so tough. Like the same thing I said about the Commanders. Look what happened in that shit. Like it because we play each other so much and we know each other's tendencies. It's an any given Sunday thing. And
it is. I don't disagree there because over the past couple of years, the Giants have really been. The Commanders lost surprisingly, even though they're playing great. I mean, honestly, they've been one of the best teams in football over the last couple months. But the Giants have been the Eagles' bugaboo, and one reason because, like you said, you have issues with mobile quarterbacks. What is Daniel Jones? He's mobile
quarterback.
So I think Philly's gonna win. I said I think they're gonna serve them their ass. I should show more respect for the division game, and the Giants are not a bad team. But that's one game I wanted you to think about. The San Francisco 49ers, bro.
Bruh. I'm so like. It's so sad for them, especially for Jimmy G, especially coming back from all that he's been through and them giving up on that motherfucker, and then he gets a chance to come back. They showed him why they should have kept him. He glad he stayed there. He knew the opportunity was going to arise for him to come back there again, be behind Trey Lance. That's hilarious. But he got his chance, and I'm so sad that he got injured on that shit. It's sorry. It sucks for them, but it's football. It happens. You know what I mean? And look, they got Baker Mayfield out there.
I was just getting ready to say that.
Depends on if he get claimed off of the waivers, though. If they get that.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say that. You know, Baker Mayfield just got cut.
Yeah, but he got to get through them needy teams that need quarterbacks, like the Rams need one because of Stafford. Fucking.
I think the Rams have said fuck the season. I don't think they're gonna get him.
Yeah, and then you got Houston.
Why? But if you're Houston, why? Because if you're Houston, you're in position to get the number one pick, and you could get C.J. Stroud or the dude from Alabama.
I mean, get Baker, but yeah, I mean, do you want Baker, man? I mean, you want to put in that purdy motherfucker.
Well, see, and let me get to him too. Did you see any difference between him and Garoppolo when he came in the game?
No, I wouldn't fuck with him. He already know your system. I wouldn't bring nobody like Baker Mayfield in to cause no goddamn jump. They already went and got your quarterback off the practice squad. You got somebody behind him.
Josh Johnson.
Yeah.
That's where Russell Wilson belongs, is on the fucking practice squad. Go ahead.
Well, I know we don't talk much about your team, though, but what the fuck is going on with Russell Wilson?
Dog.
In the 90s?
Okay, we'll segue back to San Francisco in a second. Bruh, I said this on my review. Yesterday's game summarized our whole season. The defense plays great. We give up 10 points. That's it, 10 points. And we still lose. And we still lose.
Bruh, if I was that defense, bro, I'd be having an issue with that.
You saw it last week.
Yeah, like they got that. Like he can't be walking around that locker room like you the shit, getting paid all this money, and you can't even score a motherfucker.
And then you don't start doing what you need to do throughout the game until the very last drive of the game. The very last drive, and we got 23 seconds left. Now he wants to run around and start making plays with his legs. Where was that the first 59 minutes, dickhead?
Man, I don't know what's up with him. I don't know what happened to him.
I don't know either. Because
it got to be Sierra.
I mean, it's either Sierra or either Hackett is that bad of a coach, because you look at how bad Russell Wilson is playing, then you look at how great Geno Smith is playing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, Geno Smith is lighting motherfuckers up.
Geno out here playing.
But there are a couple of segues I want to get to. Let's get back to San Francisco. Okay, Purdy is Mr. Irrelevant. He was the very last pick in the draft. The only reason why I would bring Baker Mayfield in if I was the 49ers is not to start, just as an insurance policy.
Yeah.
Just because in Kyle Shanahan's offense, you don't have to be spectacular. You just have to be a good bus driver. And here's something that's going to get paid attention to a lot. Here's something that we know is factual. They don't win without Garoppolo. They don't win. You look at their record, like Kyle Shanahan's record is like 8-29 without Garoppolo as his quarterback. So I didn't see any. I mean, to me, it looked like the same guy with the dude Purdy. But I mean, hell, you done lost two. You done lost two quarterbacks to broken foot. So you might as well. I mean, if I'm Baker Mayfield's agent, I'm trying to move heaven and earth just to get, even if it's just to the 49ers practice squad, just as an insurance policy. Because what have I been screaming the last month and some change? 49ers Eagles NFC Championship game. Well, that kind of just took a hit. Because who knows? Maybe the NFC does come down to the Eagles and the Cowboys, or the Eagles and the Vikings. And now, speaking of, I'll stay in the NFC. What did you think of the Vikings squeaking out that win against the Jets?
Well, like I said, I thought it was going to be the Jets. I believe I picked the Jets to win that game. I'm not mistaken.
We both did, yeah.
Yeah. Because Primetime Curry showed us something that, you know what I'm saying, that he still got it. I mean, that he could do it if it's necessary. Again, of course, you still got Mike White as quarterback on the other side. So, I mean, he had a little flash of what he did last week. But, early I seen he got a little trouble with the interceptions, with the interception pass. I mean, it's a tough game, bro. But I still don't fear the Vikings. I mean,
yeah, nobody does.
Clearly, nobody fears them. Even the Cowboys thrashed them. They got to feel bad about it. But, again, it's playoffs, and that's a different breed. And so
Barrios got to make that catch, though, man.
Yeah, he definitely did.
That was a perfect pass. Barrios got to make that catch. And this is why nobody fears the Vikings. Because you said they got Mike White on the other side. The Jets outplayed the Vikings, period. They outplayed them. They just couldn't get in the end zone enough.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing about it. So nobody's really scared of the Vikings. Like, I to be honest, bro, it's any given Sunday, but just looking at what we got and what's going in there, and I told Trish this too, this is the best year to get to the Super Bowl. For any of us, either the Cowboys or the Eagles. This is the best opportunity to get to the Super Bowl.
It really is. It really is.
So it all comes down to who wanted more, who shows up in the playoffs, who's the healthiest.
Now I'll say this: if Purdy can play if he can mimic Jimmy Garoppolo, I still have the 49ers and the Eagles in the NFC Championship game. But that's a big if. You're talking about a rookie quarterback who was drafted dead last in the draft.
Yeah, I mean, anything. It's football. Stories are made. Anything can fucking happen. but the likelihood of that motherfucker doing this thing like that, I mean, like I said, anything that happens, especially with that.
Ride the defense, though, bro. Ride the defense.
That's what I said. That's what I said, especially with that defense on the
Yeah.
side. And, bro, if D'Amico Ryans and somebody head coach next year, I'm going to know something.
Right.
He's definitely better than the thing
Hello? Hello? Fuck, I wish we had signed Deion. I wish we would have hired Deion Sanders.
Man, hey, Deion about to fucking cut up in Colorado. You hear me?
Yeah, he the best thing smoking about football in Colorado now. Because it ain't the Broncos.
That nigga said, get ready for this transfer portal, because y'all get the fucking
Oh, he getting all his players from Jackson. He getting all his players from Jackson
bring
State.
all them motherfuckers to Jackson State. Jackson State, that's gonna be the hoodest goddamn school.
Hey, people didn't realize is that Deion had an NFL team in Jackson State.
Mm-hmm.
He had a fucking NFL squad. Them niggas would have given the top dogs in Division 1A a run for their money.
Yeah, but look, I don't even really follow. I've never been a college person because it's too many teams for me to follow. Because you got at least 30 in one state. You got Georgia University of Georgia. Georgia IT. Like, where the fuck is all these teams? But I'm thinking
Georgia A&M,
yeah.
University of Georgia outside of Macon.
Exactly, right? Like Georgia Randolph.
ATL Shouting University.
Like, god damn, how many colleges y'all got? But yeah, bro, I think I'm gonna start following Colorado to see their ascension because I like people hating on Deion. I like what Deion did because nobody was even thinking about HBCUs until Deion really put
Right,
them
exactly. Right, exactly.
And that man given the opportunity to move up like anybody. You should move him up and bring your people. He's bringing his people with him.
I'm interested to see if he's bringing his son because if they were playing in Division 1, his son would have been a Heisman candidate.
Yeah.
Because his son is the quarterback. He's a beast.
Oh no, he already said he got his quarterback. You heard him?
Yeah.
He said, I already got my quarterback here, dog. Your ass is great. Like, to sit in that thing with them kids sitting in there and listening to that man, all he kept saying to him, I'm stunned.
Now, I hate to take it here, but I'm going to take it here. Matter of fact, I don't hate to take it here because it needs to be said. Think about this. This is how you know the complexion for the connection is real. Deion Sanders wanted to be an NFL coach first. No experience outside of high school. They said, nope, you can't do it. We don't believe you can do it. But Jeff Saturday got to do exactly what Deion Sanders wanted to do a decade ago.
It's like you said, it's all about who you know, and like you said, the complexion for your connection.
Now
we gotta work twice as hard to get where they get easy.
Right.
So, I mean,
now let's get back to the NFL. What I tell you about Burrow and them Bengals?
Man, look, I'm so super glad that he beat up on Pat because I was sick and tired of hearing him in his race with my quarterback, even though my quarterback only lost one game. But yeah, they did their thing over there, boy.
Let me ask you something. Let me just pick your brain a little bit, right? I know you watch these shows just like I do. And what's been the main question over the last, I'll say, month of the season? Who's the biggest threat to the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC? And what was the universal answer to that question?
It was always the Bills, wasn't it?
The Bills, right, the Bills. Now I have another question for you, just a rhetorical question. Who's the defending AFC champions?
The defending AFC champions are the Bengals.
Who has beaten the Kansas City Chiefs 3 times in the last calendar year?
It would be the Bengals.
Has Buffalo done that?
Against the boys.
Has Buffalo beaten the Chiefs in a game that mattered?
Yeah.
And another question. Who has gone 8-2 ever since their 0-2 start?
Imagine.
I'm starting to think, if you do the common denominator, add an X, a Y, and do a remainder, sounds like the Bengals are really the team that people should be fearing in the AFC.
Well, I mean, everybody thought so because they were losing at the beginning. It's like, oh, it's a Super Bowl hangover.
Super Bowl hangover, yeah.
The only one that got the hangover is the fucking Rams. I mean, goodness gracious.
Exactly.
You would think that they was the last ones to leave the party. Damn, I ain't never seen a turnaround that massive. But I'm going to tell you why, and a lot of motherfuckers don't talk about it, because they put all their chips in last season. And now you got a bunch of motherfuckers like flirting with retirement and shit.
I think honestly, I think this is probably McVay's last year. I believe that. I don't think McVay's coming back next year.
Broadcaster?
Yeah, I think so. Why not? I mean, because think about it. He can do exactly what John Gruden did. He's only 36 years old. He's been to 2. He has a very impressive resume. He's been to 2 Super Bowls, won 1. He can be in the booth for a decade and come back and still be under 50 years old and get $100 million contract because he has the credentials to do it. Yeah, I don't think, because all of those draft picks that you mortgage your future, you got your ring. But now this is the back half of it. This is the part that bites you in the ass. So, yeah, I think McVay is gone after this season.
Yeah.
I do. But as far as the Bengals are concerned, everybody was still saying their offensive line is trash. You got to think about this, bro. They brought in a whole new offensive line. They didn't play none in the preseason. You have to give them time to gel. Been a totally different team the last 2 months of the season.
Go back. Got to play with the kids, too. Go ahead.
Oh, I know. I understand. Hey, Jack Rabbit.
Yeah. I am going fast, yeah. Yeah, but I see the Bengals are going to be. I mean, the Bengals are coming up. Because you know the thing about football, there's always a who's hot at the right time.
Exactly.
I mean, they turning on. People get back for being healthy. And again, it's always who's the healthiest at their time.
Well, with that loss by Kansas City, Buffalo jumped back into the top spot in the AFC.
Uh-huh.
And now, how do you feel now? We were talking about the Broncos and the Ravens. What do you think about Lamar Jackson?
Man, look, if I was Lamar Jackson, I'm sitting out.
You know he's not going to do that. You know that, right?
I bet he would. I bet he will.
No, he's not.
Why wouldn't you?
Because this is the exact situation that the Ravens were in last year. They were 8-4 when he got hurt. They didn't win another game. Huntley pulled this one out but Huntley pulled that one out. But I don't know. I don't see Lamar Jackson sitting out. He may miss a couple of games, and the Ravens have a really easy schedule. But I called Cincy to win the division at the start of the year, and I'm sticking with it.
Uh-huh.
So the Ravens may be in trouble.
Look, I'm like this. You ain't paying me. I ain't finna come back in here and risk further injury to myself. If you don't see what you see in me from the years that I've been playing here and want to pay me when there's people out here getting all this money, Deshaun Watson ain't even played, so he getting paid all this guaranteed money, it's because somebody wanted him. You won't want me. And I'm out here getting injured. Guess what? I know it's a million teams out here that want Lamar Jackson.
Oh, well, you got shit. I'll take him.
That's what I'm saying. So don't say I'm not going to risk injury to myself to mess up my money. If you don't want to pay me, we'll have this dance next year. And next year I'm going to be sitting out.
Yeah.
If you try to franchise me, I'm not playing this game with you again. Because you should have paid me this year.
Yeah, they should. They should have. They should have.
So, well, I heard they did give him some money. He rejected it. But
they offered him. They did offer him $200 million.
Well, the man wants what he wants. So, and look, he gambling on himself. Now he needs this. He almost got injured. I would sit it out, bro.
And he's representing himself. He's his own agent.
Yeah, he doesn't have an agent. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, as far as the prediction,
I got a whole swing outside, bro. Not even a swing.
As far as the prediction league goes, you got 8 right. You came in 3rd place, behind your boy. Yeah, your boy finished in first, right? Your boy finished in first, man. I was a little braggadocious at the beginning of the show because I'm like, bro, I said I'm better than you guys at picking win-loss football. It's just proving it. But there's still 5 weeks left. But let's get your predictions for these games coming up. All right, Thursday night football. The Raiders have won 3 straight games. They are at those Los Angeles Rams who are in the toilet seat. Who you got?
Oh, man, come on, man. It ain't the Rams. They absolutely are. I'm going with the Raiders.
Yeah, ever since Derek Carr was crying at the podium, the Raiders have been on a winning streak.
Right.
All right. Let's see. Now, on the Sunday's game, huge game, New York Jets at the Buffalo Bills. Who you got?
Man. I don't too much know about Mike White. I'm going to give it to Buffalo.
Okay. Cleveland Browns at the Cincinnati Bengals.
Cleveland at the Bengals.
Okay. Houston at Dallas.
For Cowboys.
Yeah, exactly. We hate to, but we got to.
We got to be smart.
Minnesota at Detroit. Detroit has won 4 of their last 5 games. They balling, right?
Let me tell you the real shit I can tell you. Like, I don't know how they're going to handle Justin Jefferson, but they may give them the 6. But Detroit be playing hard for their coach. But
yeah, well, who's going to handle Amon-Ra St. Brown?
I know. So, that's going to be a tough one. I'm going to go with the Vikings, hopefully because I hope I put my juju on them and they lose.
Jacksonville at Tennessee. Tennessee's lost 2 straight. They got manhandled yesterday. Who you got?
Tennessee. They need to come back win after that one.
Bird Gang. Eagles at Giants.
Come on, you already know, Phil.
All right,
I ain't like your boy.
Huh?
I said, I ain't like your boy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've been getting on his ass.
I don't do that. We don't do that over here.
Baltimore at Pittsburgh. This will be interesting. The Steelers have all of a sudden won a couple games in a row.
It will be interesting because if Huntley comes in and I'm gonna give it to. I don't know, man. They barely swing it up, but Denver got a defense, so I can't go with that. I'm gonna give it to Baltimore.
Pittsburgh got a defense too.
They ain't better than the goddamn Ravens.
Yeah, and Pittsburgh defense ain't better than ours actually. Their quarterback just is, and he's a rookie.
Better than
I'll take Pickett over Russell Wilson right now because he's a rookie. I give him an excuse to fuck up. Russell Wilson, you've been in the league for a decade. Fuck wrong with you?
I don't know what the fuck wrong with him.
Speaking of Denver, we got Kansas City. Yeah, I'll mark that Kansas City for you. Bird?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to I'll give it to Kansas City. But I don't trust that nigga, bro, because they liable to lose to the teams, bro. Especially y'all got a good defense too. Y'all can get Patty Mahomes a fit, and if y'all can win off the defense, Russell just got to get his shit together. I mean, I know y'all could be so dynamic, bro. I don't understand it, bro.
You're preaching to the choir.
I don't understand it. But yeah, I'm going to give it to KC.
So the 49ers are now, their questions at quarterback, and they have a big one off the bat. They're hosting Tampa Bay. Bucks at Niners.
Man, that is a tough one. That defense, Tom Brady can't handle that. Man. I'm going to give it to the Bucks.
Okay. Baker Mayfield, less Panthers. Carolina at Seattle.
Seattle.
All right. Sunday Night Football, Miami at the Los Angeles Chargers.
Miami.
I agree. New England at Arizona, Monday Night Football game nobody wants to see, but that's what it is.
No, Lord. New England, Arizona, I don't know what they got going over there. The quarterback hates the coach.
Yep.
Quarterback.
Yep.
They got a mess going on over there. They need that shit ain't gonna be the same next year.
No. And I don't think you're getting rid of Kyler. I think Kingsbury may be out the door.
Yeah, Kingsbury out the door. That shit gonna be open.
So Sean's picks are as follows: Raiders, Bills, Bengals, Cowboys, Vikings, Titans, Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs, Buccaneers, Seahawks, Dolphins, and Patriots. Does that sound about right?
That sounds about right.
Now, before we go, my bro, have you seen Anthony Davis?
I seen that 55 points, where the fuck was this at?
Nigga, 55 points. That was 55 points yesterday, but then he put up 44 on Giannis on Friday.
Oh, yeah. He's turning on. I mean, he needs to. I mean, that's what the fuck they trade for him for. To be that Anthony Davis.
This is the best I've seen him.
You put LeBron and to take over. You need to this supposed to be your fucking team.
Yeah, LeBron can't carry it anymore. He can still put up great stats, but he can't carry no more. This is the best that I've seen Anthony Davis since he's been a Laker.
Mm-hmm. I need for him to continue to play like this, bro.
And I love Russell Westbrook's new role.
Mm-hmm.
Because that game against Milwaukee,
it should have been his role for the first. He didn't want to do it, and they kept forcing it. But he embraced the shit.
Well, see, you got to give credit to Darvin Ham for getting him to buy into that situation.
Absolutely.
Because you say, Russ, hey, you've accomplished everything else. You've been a multiple-time All-Star, average triple-doubles for the season, won an MVP. Hey, why not win Sixth Man of the Year?
Man, that man come off the bench and goddamn do his thing, bro. And he embraced that shit.
And he's been doing his thing. Because the one thing, I watched that Milwaukee game. The one thing I say about Russell Westbrook is when he's not playing out of control, bro can absolutely dish that ball. When he's not playing out of control. And he's going to have to rely on that as his athleticism decreases because of age. He's going to have to continue to be a good floor general. But I'm going to holler at you on Wednesday, though, bro.
Absolutely, shawty.
All righty. I'm going to get at you, dog.
All right, bro.
Later.
Hey, yeah. I just wanted to say, that off subject. The band is dope, bro. I think we would enjoy doing that shit, bro. It isn't necessary for us to do that shit, bro. I think we'll smash that shit, bro.
Absolutely.
I want to get you in there to hear for yourself, too, bro. You know what I mean? But
absolutely.
We would enjoy doing that shit, bro. To get the band back together, you know what I'm talking about?
I know, and for y'all who don't know, Sean trying to get me back into that singing game.
Yeah, bro. They got me off the couch, bro. I'm trying to get you back into that shit, too, bro. And I think that live shit with their band, when I tell you that band is fire, bro, that band is fire, bro.
Well, I'm gonna see you on Wednesday, my guy.
All right, I'm gonna see what he's talking about. If they still got their practice, we can go in there because right now they just performing, but they're practicing for their show. So we just there to see if we interested and what we want to do going forward next year. But hell, you never know.
Well, shoot me a text if they're not doing nothing Wednesday. Let me know. But if they are, I got you.
All right, bro. And I'm going to let him know that we can come through. Just Scoopy, if you can come through, I'll just let him know because I'm pretty sure they're going to be practicing. They practice every Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah. Well, if I come through, it's going to be late because it's peak season and my job is busting my ass. But I'll slide through.
Yeah, they don't start till 9 o'clock. It's from 9 to 12 is what they usually do. So I'll come scoop you if necessary. But, yeah, I want you to get up in there so we can look at that, Joe. That sounds tough.
Got you, broski.
All right, bro.
All right.
Later.
Yeah, the broski trying to get me back into the music game, and that's definitely that's a great thing because y'all know I love anybody who know me from them Holland Spring days knows how much fun I had when I was part of that singing group known as Too Unique. But he trying to get me back in the game. But anyway, Prediction League Monday calls go on. Tony, we have a Tony sighting. What up, bro?
Yo, what's going on?
How is everything rolling?
Everything is everything.
All right. Well, I wanted to call Tony yesterday, but job, as Tony just said, life on the plantation, job and busting my ass. I ain't wake up till damn near 12:30 yesterday. But we're gonna get into football in a second. I wanted to pick his brain about a couple of other things because when I have serious topics, there's one guy that I turn to the most, and that is this man on the line here. I've been chomping at the bits to talk about the situation where LeBron James addressed the media. Tony may have a completely different take from what I had when he addressed the media in regards to the Jerry Jones situation and asking why had he not been asked that question when he was consistently asked about Kyrie, and he said keep the same energy in regards to Jerry Jones as you do Kyrie Irving. Now, me personally, I had never been more proud of LeBron James, and I'm not a LeBron James fan. And this is not even a notion of anything personal against Jerry Jones, because that picture for me, that picture of 1957 does nothing to me or does nothing for me. I don't give a damn about the picture. I already felt the way I felt about Jerry Jones beforehand. But what I like that LeBron did is the media does play those games. They pick and choose what they want the stories they want to drag into the ground, in particular when it comes to black athletes. Jerry Jones, this picture, like I said, doesn't do anything for me. It may do something for a whole lot of other people, but nonetheless, it was a story. and it's a story where you talk about it for a day and then it can get swept under the rug. Brett Favre is another example. Now, Brett Favre, does a picture of Jerry Jones, is that anything criminal? No. Did anything that Kyrie Irving did, was that criminal? No. Brett Favre is being accused of criminal stuff, and for some reason, that gets swept under the rug. So I appreciate the attention that LeBron brought to that, just in that regard. Now, sir, what say you?
In abstract, well, first of all, the media need to stop asking LeBron questions like he's this philanthropic genius. He ain't. But more importantly, in theory, just in theory, LeBron was correct. In theory. However, in practicality, not so much. And I'll tell you why. Those situations were distinctly different. You just indicated how different they are. Brett Favre, we're talking about criminal shit. In terms of Kyrie, we're talking about racism in a, I guess, more direct sense. In terms of the picture with Jerry Jones, it's hard to ascertain anything from that picture other than he went to that school. He was in the crowd, but he was not on the forefront of the angry calcium camels that were attacking the young brothers and sisters, seeming. He was in the background. You couldn't even tell, and you could see his face clearly. You couldn't even tell from his face expression what he was thinking one way or the other. Jerry Jones spoke on it. This notion that Jerry Jones wasn't asking any questions, he was asking, he spoke on it. And he literally broke it down in the sense of what you saw in the picture. That was 19 such and such, Arkansas. I went to that school. I showed up because I was curious. It was a big thing at that school, and pretty much everybody was there. He got caught in a picture of being there. Now, Stephen A., I guess, put a spin on it, and people called him a coon. And I don't like Stephen A. Smith. But he put it in a similar context in terms of that. And then you have to look at, if you look at the body of work, Stephen A. simply said, the question you would ask Jerry Jones is about hiring black head coaches. You know what I'm saying? He's had black coaches, but not black head coaches. If anything, in terms of that picture, the picture is kind of meaningless and insignificant. It's in a Forrest Gump sense. If you want to use that analogy, Forrest Gump was standing in the audience, in the crowd, during that same moment in time, or a similar moment in time, and he was just there as a witness.
Coon's trying to go to school with us. Well, when raccoons go to school with us, my mama just chases them with a broom. Not raccoons, you idiot. Niggas. They want to go to school with us. With us? And then he picked, ma'am, you dropped your book.
Now,
but that's the perfect analogy, yeah.
Here's the trip part to that. And when you say media is one way in terms of that, media is also funny, even in terms of stuff like that. Because Jerry spoke on that, and he said, when he made money, they put money back into the community in where he's from, and not just the white community. And other older black residents of that town have basically confirmed that it was not, that he, his family and, him mostly, was about that life.
Well, okay, that's fine. Hold on
1 second.
Mm-hmm. And I'll say this while he has me on hold, because I don't want dead air. The Jerry Jones picture, again, for me, does nothing to me. It does nothing for me. There's a picture of 1957. I'm just explaining. I'm explaining my personal feelings about the picture.
I get in theory what LeBron is saying about the media, but the media has always been that way. I mean, I don't know what was going on in the world when Marshawn Lynch wouldn't talk to the media, but that was the main story. That's how they do. They pick and choose what they want to elevate and what they don't want to elevate. And across the board.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I never was more proud of him, because you said it yourself. The media needs to stop asking LeBron about this and that, but they're not going to. They're not going to, because he's put himself out there as, quote unquote, more than an athlete. And while I'm not a fan of his as far as on the basketball court, I'm not discounting him as a individual basketball player. I couldn't call myself a fan of basketball if I didn't say I was a fan of LeBron James as a player. I wasn't a fan of his game. I'm not a fan of LeBron James, or the basketball player, as there's always excuses made to why he does not win. that has rubbed me the wrong way about anything. LeBron off the court, again, I had never been more proud because it was something that needs to be said. It happens all the time. Jerry Jones, like I said, this picture does nothing to me. It does nothing for me. Jerry Jones showed me, this is me personally, and you can say whatever you want, Tony, that's fine. You have your opinion, I have mine. I've never heard Jerry Jones denounce racism. I saw Jerry Jones say what his team was not going to do when the flag stuff was going on with Colin Kaepernick, and then he was quiet as a church mouse with the George Floyd incident. That tells me all I need to know. Am I saying that Jerry Jones is a racist? No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that Jerry Jones, like other billionaires before him and after him, will put money over morals. And me personally, just my personal opinion, I do not like that. Because again, I've never heard Jerry Jones say anything about denouncing racism. I heard him say that the Cowboys will stand for the national anthem and toe the line. And like I said, that tells me all I need to know. That picture, I mean, like you said, Forrest Gump. So what? I mean, for all I know, that could have been Daniel Snyder's personal private investigator doing some snooping because he's about to be out of the league as an owner, and he want to take some people down with him. Whatever. But Jerry has been able to skate on a lot of these things, and I don't care how many black players or black people swear by him. I just know, in my personal opinion, what I've seen and what I've heard. And what I've seen is a person who's been able to skate on this subject, and yes, he's made several black players millionaires. But those black people that he's made millionaires has kept him being a billionaire. It's a two-way street. I'm just proud that LeBron put that on Front Street because to me, the attack was more so on mainstream media than Jerry Jones, personally. And I think that needed to be said because, again, that's why I gave the Brett Favre situation, because it's not just the Jerry Jones situation that sometimes that doesn't get the attention that a Kyrie Irving or a Ime Udoka or a Kanye West would get. Now, Kanye, that's a whole nother story. But that's just my opinion of it.
Can I interject on something?
Sure.
Because, again, since you have chosen to be part of the media, it's all media. Even a YouTube channel, it's all media. I just want to
Absolutely.
I just want to read this, and then you tell me what you think is being said. I really want to say how our hearts as an organization, individuals in this organization, our hearts go out to the individuals and the family members who have been affected by these times. These disheartening things that we've all seen in our world and on television. I want our team to be part of the change. The dramatic change isn't going to happen overnight, but I want our organization, our players to play a part in the movement of making this a better place in this country for everybody. I feel confident that our players have a can-do and what can I do participation in it. I want the Cowboys to help make this a better place. Now, you just were talking about George Floyd and what Jerry Jones didn't say. That's what his statement was in relation to George Floyd. Now, because he didn't mention George Floyd's name, people say, well, he's silent. Richard Sherman, he was silent on George Floyd. Well, he singled out Jerry Jones because Jerry Jones speaks on pretty much every topic. That's what Richard Sherman said. He said Jerry Jones speaks on pretty much every topic, yet he's silent on George Floyd, but yet this is his statement on George Floyd. Because he did not say George Floyd. You're saying he didn't say anything and didn't even address it, but he did. But because he chose the peripheral from that in a political aspect, he just simply was addressing in a general way. People will say you didn't say anything, but you did. You've just chosen not to get into that. You're the owner of a sports franchise, and you've chosen not to get into that aspect. But you're addressing it to a level where, again, you're recognizing it. You're recognizing the problem.
Okay, and that is nice.
And that is better. No, it's nice. It's the right thing to do.
What I've seen Jerry Jones do.
It's better than what Jeff Bezos or some of these other billionaires, they don't even look at it. They don't say anything. He did say something. And in that way, the thing I don't understand, in the same way with athletes, they shouldn't be expected to be social warriors. They shouldn't be.
Well, I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that. But when you put yourself out on Front Street all the time, which is what Jerry Jones does, this is why they come to him with everything, because he puts
In
himself.
relation to sports only, they don't come to Jerry Jones asking him, "What do you think of the Democrat?" What do you
Well,
think
you know
of
that.
Herschel Walker? They
Well, you
don't-
know this, but this is the climate of the world now, bro, and you know that.
Yeah,
if,
but
if
bro,
you are a public
what did I
figure, you're gonna
just
get
say?
asked about
They
everything unless you
should not
ask
be
specifically.
expected. They shouldn't be expected to do that. If they do it, that's great, but they shouldn't be expected to do it because who is Jerry Jones? Well, he's a billionaire. He doesn't have any expertise on social justice or any particular, fund any particular, like Black Lives Matter or anything like
He
that.
funded Trump's campaign.
So, a lot of millionaires.
I know that, but
Because-
he funded
but-
Trump's campaign. But I'm saying, like, if you're a sports owner, but you fund a political campaign, you might get asked questions about that. Like LeBron, he sponsored Hillary Clinton, so they ask him questions about that.
Funny you brought that up. What if I told you right now I could look up where Jerry Jones denounced Trump? He denied Trump. Trump wanted to hold a rally in Texas City, and he told him no.
Good. Well, denouncing Trump and denouncing racism is two totally different things.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is he's done both. And it was tied hand in hand at one point because he was asked about some things that Trump said and why he was being denied to hold a rally there.
Well, and when it comes to Jerry Jones' specific situation, I rock with my man Jay Williams. You can't play both sides of the fence. You need to pick a side. Especially since you want to put yourself out there like that all the time, you need to pick a side. And I ain't heard Jerry Jones do none of which that gives him a side to defend him. He's playing to both sides of the fence, and I understand the business aspect
The
of it.
problem is you could go down the list of baseball, basketball, football owners, and you can make a list of pretty much all of them. That very few of them actually get involved with that on that level. They'll make a general statement. Sometimes they make it through PR. They don't even make the statement. They'll make it through a PR.
Well, let me ask you something. Let me ask you a question.
But the point is, they in the big picture, they deal with however many black men they deal, people of color they deal with. Those are the people they're hands-on with because they make the money and they in turn make them rich. Now, outside of that, some of these people do have relationships with these owners. We know it. We know it happens. Outside of the Cowboys organization, when dudes stopped making that dude money, he still showed a vested interest in their lives and their welfare. You understand? In a non-monetarily way. So,
well, let me ask you a curious question. Do you think this is coming from Dan Snyder?
what?
Like, this whole situation, because somebody dug up some dirt somewhere. Because this picture has been seen before, just not in the public. Do you think this is coming from Dan Snyder?
Washington Post is the one who found it. They're claiming credit for finding it. I haven't heard anything tied into Dan Snyder.
Jamel Hill also was one of the. Jamel Hill was the first person that broke the story.
But I wouldn't put it past that. And in many respects, especially because Jerry Jones has spoken directly on Dan Snyder. They asked him about Dan Snyder, and he gave his opinion. But then also so has Robert Kraft, and Irsay.
That's why. I mean, hell, all the Irsay shit is in the public eye. That's why they sent him as the first owner to speak on it. I thought that was brilliant. I mean,
you might be right, but it speaks volumes that if Dan Snyder were somehow tied to this, that you'd have to reach all the way back to something like that obscure to try to smear somebody that's been in the public eye this long. That means, other than that illegitimate child, it's kind of hard. It's harder to smear the person.
Well, that's why, because that's the first thing when I heard about this, the first thing I said was, damn, Dan Snyder ain't going out quietly, because that's who I thought. That's me personally. That's who I think all of this came from. But that's why, like I said, picture does nothing for me, does nothing to me. I could care less.
All I'll say is Jerry Jones addressed this a long time ago in a different kind of way. Because sometimes when he talks really convoluted. If you ain't noticed.
Of course.
He talked about this a long time ago and said this image of him being a good old boy from Arkansas is not that. Because he was born in Arkansas, but his people moved to L.A. and they lived there.
I thought he was born in L.A. but moved to Arkansas.
Well, it was one or the other.
Yeah, he was born in L.A. but then they moved to Arkansas.
But he said this notion that he's this good old boy is no, he never was. But I just leave that there. All I can do is go by what people who had personal relationships with him inside the game, outside the game, and I have never, nobody ever that was of color, coaching, player, or otherwise, has ever said that they detected any hint of racism toward them, from him in any capacity.
Well, you could be right, or he could have one of the great poker faces of all time.
And I told you this one time. If you ask Jimmy Smith, he'll tell you. Jimmy Smith,
like
a wide receiver for the Jaguars, who was drafted by the Cowboys.
I know.
He took care of me and my family when he didn't have to. I didn't make him a penny, but he took care of my family.
I don't knock none of that stuff. I just have my opinion, and you have yours. That's why I got you on here. Because
I get it, but my point is, you'll say what you'll say, but explain that then.
I did.
If he never was gonna make Jerry Jones a dime.
Oh, you talking about the Jimmy Smith situation? No, I can't. I don't know Jimmy. I mean, look, I mean, only thing I knew about Jimmy Smith on the Cowboys is that he was a backup receiver in Tecmo Bowl. That's all I know about Jimmy Smith in Dallas.
The point is, from the mouths of people like Emmitt Smith and so on and so forth, you know, Jerry Jones has been a decent man to me. Not an owner, not took care of me when I was playing for him, but decent man. And that's it. And that's really all you can really say about that.
Hey.
Anything else is conjecture because there's nothing to say contrary to that.
Well, like I said, we got into the details of that situation, which I wanted to do.
Black people have this thing, unless you're talking about, like, if you're talking about obvious things like Candace Owens and even Herschel Walker and this, that, and the other, you know, black people have this thing that you know, automatically, you got to be a coon because you're saying this person was a decent man. Could it be possibly true? How would you know otherwise? You don't know.
No, it can be true, and I feel you 100% on that type of situation. Now, speaking of Herschel Walker, are they gonna get his shit to him?
By the way, that whole kneeling thing with Jerry Jones, ask what was the scrub dude that used to be good? We signed him, and it was a couple other ones, and they wanted to do the Black Power, Black Panther thing, and Jerry Jones had no problem with that. None. Zero.
Like I said,
zero. As a matter of fact, during the kneeling dynamic, in terms of that, he said you can kneel before or kneel afterwards. So whatever, I'll even come on, and he came on the field and kneel with him.
I remember that. But
and so
but you know what? But it shouldn't. But to me, it shouldn't make. If you kneeling during the national anthem and you know what it's for, shouldn't make a difference whether it's before or after or not.
But what he's saying is actually true. If you think about it, if you're American and you consider yourself American, can't you be both? Can't you show both? Can't you show support for your country and fight for social justice? You don't have to do them simultaneously.
But also as an American, you have the freedom. You're supposed to have the right to do it simultaneously.
That's what people understand. People think the Constitution and I have rights to everything. You don't have the rights to do everything.
But you do have the right to kneel when the national anthem is played. You do have the right to do that if you choose to.
You don't have that right.
You
don't have. I'll tell you why you don't. And I'm former military, so all them people that were saying that's disrespectful to the military, man, fuck that. And the flag, fuck the flag and the anthem. The anthem was racist.
Yes, it was.
I've
heard the whole song.
Colonies and shit that they stole from our brothers, from our indigenous brothers.
Right.
So fuck that flag, fuck that anthem. But the point is, you have the right to kneel. You have the right to protest. That's in the Constitution. You have the right to protest. However, once you put on that uniform and you are on the clock because you put on that uniform and you're in that stadium to perform a job, you can't wear what you want to wear at Amazon. You can't protest. You can protest, but you'll mess around and lose your job.
Well, let me ask you something. You think if Dak Prescott,
it's still an occupation, and this notion that I can exert my rights while I'm on the clock with the occupation is wrong.
You think if Dak had a kneel, do you think he would have fired Dak? Think he would have cut him?
I think that Dak addressed that, and I think Dak just pretty much said what I said.
No, I'm asking you. Do you think if Dak? Let's just play this game. If you think Dak had a kneel, do you think he would have cut Dak? I don't.
I'm gonna tell you what I think about that. I don't even speculate about that because that locker room was in full compliance, and that's all that needs to be said. I'm not. Again, this is coming from a dude that's not extremely patriotic. Fuck this country. You want to talk about freedoms? You want to talk about freedoms? I have a right to see these. Well, why don't you go back to Africa? Well, take your European potato-eating ass back over to Ireland or wherever the fuck you come from.
Yeah. Bloody fucking England.
But whatever the point is, I have the right because our people built here, shed blood here, died here to build this fucking country. I have the right to live here and hate living here. That's my right. But I'm not doing it on your time if it's your dime. I'm following your rules, and that's it. And they, in the big picture, they're in it to make money. So whatever affects that, if you are affecting that, then yes, you are wrong because you expect to get your money irregardless. As a player, you expect to get that game check irregardless. Well, if I'm losing endorsements because you got these overly patriotic people that believe that, they came for the experience, the whole experience, the national anthem and everything. And you are somehow taking away from that experience, and I lose like the Papa John contracts and stuff that people lost. That may have accounted for 10-15% revenue or something. You don't know. So you don't have that right. You're on the clock. Do your job, protest on your own time and on your own dime. Now, him acquiescing and saying you can do it on the field, period. To me, that's good enough because forever he didn't have to do that. At the end of the day, you know how I feel about athletes and their feeling of entitlement. That falls into that entitlement thing. You getting paid millions of dollars. Charles Barkley with that whole, we feel like we on a plantation, we just on an auction block. Nigga, shut up. That's a disservice to every black person that broke their fucking back and was buck broke to be out there picking fucking cotton.
Oh yeah, I don't disagree with that because if you're on an auction block and you're getting paid tens of millions of dollars, sign me up, Captain.
This is ridiculous as that bullshit, the Trail Sprewell back in the day. I gotta feed my family. Nigga, what you feeding your kids? Platinum? Shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Stop acting like you are just this underdog and underappreciated thing. You're playing a sport and getting paid millions of dollars to do it. The least thing you can do is follow the instruction. Follow the instructions of the organization. It's not hard. It's not difficult. This is why your boy is sitting probably one of the most talented players out there, athletes out there, but he can't get a job because he can't follow instructions. Wide receiver, help me.
Wide receiver? Oh, Antonio Brown?
Antonio Brown.
Oh, no. He got warrants out for him. No. Don't go. Yeah, he got warrants on him. Antonio Brown is that's another case. Man.
He's an example of that, though.
Oh, man.
Example of that. You get the millions of dollars from playing a sport. And you can't appreciate that when all these poor black people out here struggling, you can't appreciate that. You got to show your ass like a monkey. And it's embarrassing. And so in that vein, that's what I said. The owners, they make millions of dollars. The players make millions of dollars. I don't make millions of dollars. But I would follow the rules, okay, to be the 53rd man on a roster making $500,000.
Well, Well, you mentioned Sprewell. Let's not forget, he made some legendary rims.
Well, I know that too.
I'm being silly. But
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying about freedom and this, that, and the other. I just think that, if you feel that strongly about something, player A, player B, player C, whoever the fuck you are, if you feel that strongly, when you hang up them cleats, why are you not in front of that courthouse where that black man is about to be convicted of a crime he didn't do? Why are you not in front of that police station holding a press conference saying, I'm here as a protest to show that this officer should be suspended? Why are you not doing that? We never see that image. We ain't seen images like that since way back when Muhammad Ali and
Bill Russell and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Right.
Yeah, Jim Brown. Yeah.
And it was outside of uniform. And that painting, that picture is legendary.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do that to impress me. Do that to show me you committed to that particular cause. Don't fucking, you're kneeling on a fucking football field. That don't mean shit. People is just like, all right, and when the anthem's over, that's over. And it has no impact whatsoever other than just draw attention. You're drawing attention, but you're not drawing attention to the issue. You're drawing attention to the kneeling.
Well, before we get to actual present day football. Again, in principle, I've never been more proud of what.
I didn't. On one more thing on LeBron.
Okay.
LeBron's an asshole. Nigga, why they asking you? Because your relationship with Kyrie. That's why they keep asking you. If you were not related to Kyrie in any way, they're not asking.
Well, I will counter with this. They asked Jaylen Brown just as many questions as they asked LeBron. I understand that was a former teammate of his too, but Jaylen Brown is also one of the people in charge of the Players Association. But in hindsight, in principle, no, I'm gonna still say what I said. I've never been more proud of LeBron because I think he was spot on as far as mainstream media. Now, before we get to active football games, sir, because I got you turned up. I got you really turned up. Have you seen Anthony Davis?
It means nothing because the check engine light is around the corner.
I know.
This is my advice. Sell hot.
That's where I was going with it. Now, I don't think they will because I think now the Lakers have won 8 of their last 10 games. I understand 3 of them were against San Antonio. But I think Darvin Ham has found something that, look, I have no expectations of the Lakers. I'm not saying, we're going to fit to come back and win the championship. No, not at all. But what I will say is this. I think he's found something that could potentially make them a playoff team. And this is what I fear with AD too. The check engine light is on. He has been all world. He has been on a tear. He gave Giannis 44 and put up 55 yesterday. But I like what I'm seeing what I've seen over the last 2 weeks with the Lakers because LeBron, I'm talking about the basketball player LeBron now. LeBron can't carry it no more.
Right.
He cannot carry it anymore. He can put up 29 points all he wants. He was putting up 29, 30 a game last season and meant nothing. What you need is what you're getting from Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook's new role, which he's embraced. Well, I just got finished talking with Sean about that. I love it. I watched that game against Milwaukee. That's the best I've seen them look playing together, the 3 of them playing together. I love it.
Your team trending up, my team trending down.
I was getting ready to ask you about that too. Boy, your Bulls look bad, man. Your Bulls look bad.
I know why they're trending down. One, they're 3-point shot. They don't defend. They don't defend the 3, and they don't shoot the 3. That's death in today's NBA. Also, Billy Donovan with his small ball lineups and playing 6'4" dudes at power forward and all that's trash. Also, this dick measuring contest with DeMar and Zach LaVine. They like each other just fine, but you can see ISO ball. It's all ISO ball. I gotta outdo. Zach got the money, and now he feel like he gotta be the man, so he takes all kinds of bad shots just trying to put up numbers. And DeMar, because he got the accolades he got last year, now he thinks he's all world, and so he wants to shoot the ball every time down the road, even if dudes is wide open cutting to the basket. I can't see them, but I could see past the 3 hands in my face to get that jump off.
I was listening to one of the ESPN Chicago sports writers, and they were talking about the notion of now putting DeMar on the trading block to see what value you can get because it doesn't look like Lonzo Ball is coming back anytime soon. And then they brought up Anthony Davis as well because he's a Chicago native. They don't believe that AD is going to get traded because if AD was putting up numbers and you weren't winning, maybe, but he's putting up numbers now and they're winning. So it's like, okay, the Lakers they're probably going to ride it out. If you can make a small addition during the season, but now that AD's playing well and Westbrook is playing well and they're winning, that you're probably not going to fuck with them now as opposed to maybe a month ago. But they were saying they were talking about the notion of putting DeMar on the trading block. What do you think about that?
You spoke about the Lonzo thing. That's what broke the back of this team. Mm-hmm. Lonzo being out, because if you take the ball out of ball hogs' hands, they have to play a different role. They have to play the role that the offense dictates to them instead of the other way around, them dictating the offense. And Lonzo being gone, it was a huge piece of that team because he was a dude that pushed that ball and he was a dude that distributed that ball and on the defensive side of the ball. So, and you can go and put Caruso back where he belongs on the bench. and play them small, 3-guard lineups that are based on defense. You can't do that now, and so you're asking all these guys that can't distribute the ball. Well, I feel the same about DeMar as I feel about AD. You sell high. See what you can get for him. Pick a lane, Bulls. Pick a lane. Either you're gonna go all in, and if you're gonna go all in, you should have been real players at the trade deadline. You should have been real players. You knew you were going to potentially be without Lonzo, so you should have addressed that.
For a very long time.
Right. You didn't address it. You felt like we got enough. Well, you didn't have enough. And so pick a lane. Pick a lane. If you don't see yourself being finals contenders in the next couple years, then you sell high on DeMar. Get what you can get. Get them draft picks back that you gave away.
I think so, because I think that I think that the Eastern Conference right now is a 2-team race because Boston, good Lord, Boston killing everybody. But I don't discount.
Same thing is we're undefeated against Boston.
Ain't that crazy? Isn't that crazy?
They get up to play Boston,
and they get up to play the big teams. Milwaukee, I think it's a 2-team race between Boston and Milwaukee. I like the way Cleveland has been playing, and the Nets are so unpredictable. But the rest of the Eastern Conference is really a clutter to me, and I warned you of this before the season started.
You know who quietly is dangerous? They've lost some games, but they've won some games, and they've been significant games against some of the upper teams in the East. Atlanta.
Oh yeah, dude. I warned you of this before the season because of them adding Murray from San Antonio. What the Hawks are doing doesn't surprise me. The Hawks, I said the Hawks got better. Cleveland got better. Milwaukee, well, I thought Milwaukee and Boston were the cream of the crop of the East anyway. It doesn't surprise me. Yeah, Atlanta is very good. They're very good. It's just right now, I hate to sound like an old fogey, but I'm sure you agree with me on this. Back in my day, basketball players used to play basketball.
Yeah. I want to, even with that, what I was saying earlier, think about it. Basketball players used to play basketball. Back in the day, asking about Rodney King. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, I was a kid.
Remember Rodney King?
I was a kid. I was 8, 9 years old. I remember.
Do you remember any basketball players' press conferences where they addressed that issue?
Craig Hodges.
Yep. There were many of them that they were asked that question. They were asked about that. They're basketball players. As men, they're going to have an opinion, but that's their opinion as men. And as a black man, everybody was united on that particular opinion. But you're asking them to weigh in on a social justice issue, and that's it.
I do remember them asking Darryl Strawberry, who at the time was playing for the Los Angeles Dodgers, about that. And you could probably find this on YouTube when he said, "I hope they burn the city down."
Yeah.
I do remember that, but let's get into some football, bro. But that's really why I wish because I wanted this conversation to have really its own podcast yesterday, but I'm glad I was able to get to you today. Yesterday was, to me, the best day in football so far this season because of the magnitude of the matchups, and now some injuries. I know you're not one of those Cowboy fans who boasted about the explosion in the fourth quarter against a bad Colts football team. I've heard some ridiculous Cowboy fans. It's a win nonetheless. Right now with I've been saying 49ers Eagles for the NFC title game for the last month and some change. Garoppolo's injury definitely puts a hit to that. I don't know what to expect from Brock Purdy. I really didn't see any difference because I watched that 49ers Dolphins game from start to finish. I had that through the Fire Stick and had the other TV on Red Zone. I was fascinated by that game because I'm fascinated by the Miami Dolphins. I think they have the most exciting offense in football, but the 49ers having the best defense. I didn't see any difference from Purdy, but that's one game. Here's a question. If you're San Francisco, because we know what Dallas did. I mean, and I'm not trying to disregard the Cowboys because I'm a Cowboy hater. I'm just being honest. We know what Dallas did. Doesn't surprise me about the Colts because the Colts, Jeff Saturday had them motivated for a couple of games. They won one they weren't supposed to. They were close with the game with the Eagles. Now I think they're going to get the shit beat out of them the rest of the season, just like the Cam Newton effect last year. But with San Francisco, a team that, like the Eagles, like the Cowboys, who have a chance to make a lot of noise in the NFC, as a safety precaution, because you're going to start this dude Purdy because he's been in your system, Baker Mayfield just got cut today. Would you sign him as an insurance policy?
No. For us, no. Because Cooper Rush proved that he was...
No, I'm not talking about Dallas. I'm talking about if you're the 49ers. Would you sign Baker Mayfield as a precautionary, as an insurance policy?
I would. I would. I would, because you have the type of offense that is perfect if a quarterback's willing to be a bus driver.
Right.
So you can't, Baker can't, there's only so much he can fuck up unless he started trying to do shit that he can't do. So it's a run-based team,
yep.
And you're just asked to pass when necessary. Baker is more than capable of that. I would.
And ride the defense.
Yep.
Ride the defense.
And run game and call it a day.
Yeah. Another game that, to me, that a game that I was totally fascinated with, that I paid attention to, the game in your division, Washington and New York. What are your thoughts on that one?
It's a division game.
I think that every team in that division is going to make the playoffs.
Anything can and will happen, and I'm calling it. It's a division game. Philly has a division game coming up. It will not be easy.
Oh yeah. Sean was just saying the same thing to me.
It will not be a cakewalk, but here's the key. I'm going to call it ahead of time. You know what the key is? Run. Run Barkley into the ground. And Daniel Jones, if it ain't there, use your legs. Daniel Jones can run. Use your legs, take off and run. Even if it's 5 yards, take it, because you keep them off the field, keep them on the sidelines. Philly can't stop the run. They can't. They signed Sue and they signed Linval Joseph, but they still can't stop the run. So run.
Well, they stopped Derrick Henry yesterday.
They can't stop the run. They stopped Derrick Henry because the Titans have nothing, and it's Tannehill back there.
I've been preaching that for the last couple of years.
Yeah, Daniel Jones is not Tannehill. Daniel Jones actually can throw. So you have to look for that. You have to play that. And they can beat them. They can beat them. Those two teams, because the Giants are now disciplined, and they have some players in key positions. They got Thibodeau on their defense, and he causes havoc.
I think the more dangerous team, though.
Yep, and the wild card with the Commanders always will be, and always was. They brought all this defense. They brought all this defense in. Would them dudes ever gel and play?
You talking about the Commanders now?
Huh?
Talking about the Commanders now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they finally getting dudes like Payne.
I think they're the more dangerous team.
And Heineke is a wild card because he plays playground football.
Now, do you think that your whole division will be in the playoffs?
More importantly than Heineke, he loves Terry McLaurin.
Oh man, and Terry McLaurin is a top 10 receiver.
He's just not paid. Him. Literally, he gonna force that ball to him.
Yeah,
may end up being their undoing, but if it gets in his hands,
I think he likes Dotson too, though. Jahan Dotson, I think he has a little rapport with him too.
So that's my thing. Do I think everybody will get in the playoffs? No, because that tie is gonna keep somebody out.
I think that tie is gonna help though.
It helps now, but when it gets close, them head to heads, that's gonna hurt them.
But I mean, because the only team really that you're looking at outside of the NFC East that's a factor for the wild card is Seattle. Now, right. Seattle's schedule is kind of cushy, but I don't know. It's tough. It's tough because I'm pretty sure both Washington and New York were rooting for the Rams yesterday. But that division, I went on a limb and said I think that whole division is going to make the playoffs. I think that tie was bigger for the Giants because they appear to be trending south and Washington appears to be trending north. But we shall see. Now, Kansas City at them Bengals. What you take away from that? I told y'all, believe in Burrow and the Bengals.
Yeah, I'll admit, I think the Bengals just own them. If they don't own themselves, they own them. So Mahomes and them would have to be thinking forward and saying, please don't let it be them. Please, just please, anybody but them. They'd rather have Buffalo, anybody but them.
The question has been for the last few weeks, who's the biggest threat to Kansas City in the AFC? I said, I think that question should be, who's the biggest threat to the Bengals? They're the defending AFC champions, and like you said, they own Kansas City. They own them. Please, like I said, Buffalo, no problem. Tennessee, even though Tennessee gives them a hard time too, no problem. Bengals, oh hell no if you're the Chiefs. Please, not them. It ain't even had Mixon yesterday. Please, not them.
Yeah. They got the formula.
They do. They absolutely do. So now, as far as injuries goes, what do you think of Lamar?
I mean, I don't know what because it's a referendum on the team, Baltimore as a whole. They weren't really going anywhere. So if you're going to have something like that happen, let it happen when you're not going anywhere anyway.
Well, they're still 8-4, still in first place in their division.
They're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. You knew they're not going anywhere.
Well, I called Cincinnati to win that division anyway, but I did call the Ravens to get in as a wild card.
Here's the trip part, though. You're going to see a similar thing because their backup quarterback, I can't remember his name.
Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, Huntley is not bad.
No, he's not.
So
he's not.
He's above water, and I don't want to underestimate him. So Baltimore may make some noise. I just don't think they're going nowhere at the end of the day, but they may make some noise.
Huntley is going to be somebody's starter soon. The question is he better than that Jacoby Brissett type of starter? Because to me, Jacoby Brissett is now the best backup in football. But for that, I mean, Huntley's going to get paid by somebody. Hell, it might be the Pittsburgh Steelers. You never know, because he's still young enough to where you can look at Kenny Pickett and say, maybe not. But I don't. I was just talking to Sean. Sean said that
what do the Packers do with Aaron Rodgers? They just gave him that money, but I might trade him.
You said
I could trade him. I probably would.
Well, see, here's the issue. With them winning yesterday, they're still not mathematically eliminated. So you're still going to see Aaron Rodgers. Me personally, I would see I don't think the Packers are going to the playoffs. I would see what you got with Jordan Love to see because maybe he's the one that gets traded. You want to see if you can get some value for him. Only thing I said to Packer fans is enjoy this domination over Chicago now because it's not going to last much longer.
Yeah, the Bears are coming.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. The Bears have one job. Keep Justin Fields healthy.
They got draft picks and they got a ton of money.
Yes. They going after a wide receiver. They going after a running back. Keep Justin Fields healthy. I would go after a left tackle first, me personally. Keep Justin Fields healthy. Now, let's talk about, let me quickly talk about the Miami Dolphins because the Dolphins were my sleeper team. They're 8-4. They're a very good football team, but this is the murderous part of their schedule. They got San Diego. They got the Chargers next, and then what is it? Buffalo? I don't have their schedule in front of me. Let's see. Because they just beat the 49ers. I mean, they just lost to the 49ers. How do you think the season? Do you think the Dolphins still find their way into the playoffs?
I think they do. But I do think they've come down to earth, and they've come down to earth where teams aren't necessarily afraid of them anymore.
Off of one game? And never mind, San Francisco's the best D in the league.
Because it was already kind of heading this way. They on the one hand, for a minute, they look like, Tua looked like what you perceive Jalen Hurts to be right now.
I think Jalen Hurts is the MVP. I do.
I mean, but Tua looked like that.
Yeah.
At one point, he don't look like that no more. He's still playing well, and as a team, they're still playing well, but he don't look like that no more. And he's the key. He always was going to be the key.
Yeah, well, the Dolphins have at the Chargers, which actually I think they're going to win that game because I think the Chargers are about to make a coaching change. And then at Buffalo, and Buffalo, but that's in effect is for the division. Don't know if the Jets are going to have anything to say about that, who could be another playoff team. But I think Miami's still going to find their way into the playoffs too because I think they're going to beat the Chargers. I think they'll lose to Buffalo, but on Christmas Day they play at home against Green Bay. I think they'll win that game, and I think they'll beat the Patriots. Now that last game of the season against the Jets, that's a toss-up.
Right.
That's a toss-up. But to me, I think the wild card teams right now in the AFC, if I'm not mistaken, I don't have it in front of me anymore. I think it's Cincinnati, Miami, and New York. And I think it's going to stay that way.
It might.
And now I think Cincinnati and the Ravens will trade places. I think the Cincinnati will be the division winner, and I think the Ravens will be the wild card. But before we get out of here, my friend, my broski, let's get your picks. Let's get your picks in. Let's see. What did you do yesterday? I mean, we still have tonight's game, which you picked the Buccaneers to win, but let me see. What did you do? What did Tony do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You got 9 right. Okay. You got 9 right total thus far. I came in first place because, that's what I do.
Whatever.
That's what I do, dog. I'm trying to say, hey, I just make picks like you. That's all. But anyway, let's see. Thursday night football, Raiders at Rams. Raiders have won 3 straight ever since Derek Carr was crying on the podium. And the Rams are probably the worst defending Super Bowl champions ever. Who do you got winning that game?
I'm going to take them Raiders.
Yeah.
I think the Rams are dead in the water.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Stafford ain't coming back this season. They said injury reserve. He could return week 17 for what? Why? Sunday games, Jets at Bills. Big game.
I'm gonna stick with the Bills on that. Nobody circles the wagons, even though it is the Jets, and the Jets have proven they can beat them.
The Jets defense is real, man.
I think that's gonna be present on the Bills' mind. So I'm gonna take the Bills.
Okay, Cleveland at Cincinnati.
Bengals.
Houston at Dallas. I don't need to ask that question.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Minnesota at Detroit. Detroit has won 4 of the last 5 games.
Give me them Lions.
Okay. Jacksonville at Tennessee. Division game.
Nasty games. Yeah, that's one of the nasty games.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Give me the Jaguars.
Okay. Upset special. Okay. Philly at the Giants.
I think the Giants beat them.
I knew you was going to say it.
Hey, you asked me about the Commanders game. You asked me, and I said the same for the exact same reason.
You're gonna ride that Commanders correct prediction the rest of the season, ain't you?
But if you anytime you ask me about the NFC East, literally that's my feeling on it. Anything can and will happen, and it's not like the Giants haven't been playing solid. If you don't make mistakes, you're in them games against them. So I think the Giants can and will. They'll get up for them. And they will play them tough, and they may very well beat them, so I'll pick them.
You could be very well right, but I wish you to see. As soon as I asked that question, I wish you to see my face.
The spread can give you a hint as to what they feel. What's the spread on the game?
I haven't checked the spread yet, but I'm sure the Eagles will probably.
I know they're favored, but it ain't more than 7.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh definitely. Yeah, because it's in New York too. Baltimore at Pittsburgh.
Give me the Steelers.
Okay. Kansas City at Denver. Boy, Lord, you talking about you talking. Boy, if it wasn't for me being so pleasantly distracted this season, my rage for my Broncos would be through the roof. Would be 10 times more than what it is. But who you got?
Give me the Chiefs.
Yeah. I would. Tampa Bay at San Francisco. Interesting.
Give me the Bucks.
Okie dokie. Carolina at Seattle.
Seahawks.
Ain't Geno playing some ball this year?
Yeah.
That's the quarterback I need. Fuck Russell Wilson. Give me Geno Smith. Miami at the Chargers.
Give me the Dolphins in that one.
Yeah, he putting the Dolphins in a dome. Boy, them boys is hard to catch. And Monday Night Football next Monday night, a game nobody really cares about, the Patriots at the Cardinals.
Patriots.
Okay. All right, so Tony's picks are Raiders over Rams. Smart. Buffalo over the Jets. Bengals over the Browns. Cowboys over the Texans. Lions over the Vikings. Jacksonville over the Titans. Giants over the Eagles. He got some upset specials up in here. Pittsburgh over Baltimore. KC over Denver. Bucks over Niners. Seahawks over Panthers. Dolphins over Chargers. And Patriots over Cardinals. Does that sound about right, sir?
You're going to learn one of these days that division games are never upset specials. They never.
Y'all gonna learn one day that I'm the best at
never.
picking these goddamn games.
Because you a Denver fan. As bad as the Raiders have been, you did not go into any of them games with the Raiders, especially in the black hole, assuming this gonna be a cakewalk.
Oh no, I ain't done that since Peyton Manning was a quarterback. What?
So yeah, that's division games. That's they
Yeah,
not
now when Peyton was the quarterback, I went into every division game saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna beat their ass." Not now. That hasn't been for the last 7 years. Oh, I get it. I just think Philadelphia is going to win. That's all.
Okay.
But you could be right. You were right about, ladies and gentlemen, Tony was the only person who called Washington to beat Philadelphia, and he was right on the money. That was 3 weeks ago. And he's going to live by it for the rest of the season.
I'm gonna live. No, I'm not gonna live by it. But I just, again, division game.
That's a true statement.
That is a natural rivalry.
That is true. No, that's
Philadelphia
true.
and the Giants are the natural rivalry of the NFC East, and they go way back. So, yeah, that's that battle of the tunnel, and they play hard. You can't call it, so you might as well just go with your gut.
All right. Well, sir, I will get at you, sir. Great conversation. And till next time.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Take care.
Yes, sir. My man Tony. Y'all know I always say that after I get off the phone with him. We have our but this is why I bring him on to discuss the serious topics, because we agree, sometimes we disagree. He has his opinion on Jerry Jones. I have my opinions on Jerry Jones. But again, I will say this again. I've never been more proud of what LeBron James did, bringing that attention about mainstream media, because to me, it just needed to be said. But with that being said, we roll on this Prediction League Monday. Big C, Calvin, what up, homie?
What's going on?
A great Sunday of football. That's what's going on. How you feeling?
Nervous as hell. Hey, all right, y'all. You know, we play tonight, so it's 1,000 ways to fuck that up. Nervous as hell.
Yeah, Marshawn Lattimore is coming back tonight.
Isn't it? Ain't that coincidence? That's cool. That's very, very coincidence. That's what's up.
I think tonight is going to be a slugfest. You're going to see the type of score that you saw with Baltimore and Denver yesterday, a 10-9 type of score.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll probably be the 9.
I will tell you this, though. I need about 9 points from Julio Jones fantasy-wise for me to win my game, my matchup.
Oh, dog, you going to have to mail it. He ain't doing nothing.
Hey.
No, I ain't gonna say that. We gotta, you know what I'm saying? We be all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm just so used to. And you know what? I just, you know, I'm back. I'm back, man. Remember me from like 2019, from when you met me to up until 2019.
Oh yeah, from 2011 to 2019.
I'm back because I just realized, like, why the fuck is this so fucking hard to swallow? Like you ain't finished. Ain't like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all good. I ain't tripping. I'm not watching with it. You know what? I got so like fucking, I ain't watching no extent. I can't keep worrying about the people that do what they fucking do.
Well,
But
bro,
it was-
this is the world that I've been living in ever since we won that damn Super Bowl 7 seasons
Man,
ago.
I know, man. I ain't think about it like that, man. Damn, man. I ain't think about it like that. But y'all, well, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all always yeah. Because y'all maintain like a top 10 defense
We've maintained the top 5 defense
every year. How the
every year.
do that and just not get a fucking but you know what though? You know what I'm saying? That's since when? Since what? 2016 you've been living this nightmare?
Yep.
Imagine if your team ain't won the Super Bowl since
We won it in 2015.
but just imagine if your team just hear me out. Imagine if your team ain't won this shit since 1995.
Like some
I ain't talking about nobody. I'm just saying,
like one bitch ass fan base that we know of.
Nah, I don't know, cause see, you know what I'm saying, cause success breeds shit like that. You know what I'm saying, but sometimes, it's all on how we deal with it. Like, you know, everybody when they say those good talk shit, I was puffing my chest. You know what I'm saying, but we not doing nothing now, so I'm back. You know what I'm saying? I'm back.
You back to the place where you don't want to be in.
Hey, look, and you remember I know I be forgetting. And you remember, and I know you got a lot of shit you want to cover, but you remember when I told you I had that conspiracy theory about Deshaun Jackson in Texas? About, you know what I'm saying, they
You mean Deshaun Watson?
whatever his name is. Whatever the fuck his name is. And they let that animal out of the cage. They put the shit back in the cage because they was the one that let it out. Remember I told you that?
Yeah.
Okay, I still believe that shit, but I'm gonna tell you something too. That Jerry Jones shit, Dan Snyder did that shit. I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell
Yo, that's what I was just telling Tony.
you. Dan Snyder did that shit. Come on now. The Washington Post got it. Come on now. I watched too much Sopranos and too much House of Cards. I see that. You know what I'm saying? That Dan is not. You know, he said he got shit on everybody.
Yep.
Not going out without a fight. Rich motherfuckers do shit like that. And you know, the league the NFL is its own universe. It's its own metaverse. You know what I'm saying? Only when shit, rarely do they let lawyers and shit in to fix shit like that. You know, so rarely can you sue somebody rarely can you sue somebody or entity in the NFL and they get the arbitration. That's how powerful they are. You know what I'm saying? But you are dealing with somebody who know how the sausage is made, so to speak. But yeah, he did that shit. And there's going to be some more shit coming out. There's going to be some more shit.
So what do you think about so since you brought that topic up, I wasn't going to go there, but you saw the LeBron James press conference.
Yeah, he was right.
Yeah.
Right? But again, we talking about a rich white man from Arkansas. Of course the nigga's racist. Of course he fucking, of course he was there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's who he is. You know what I'm saying? That's who he was or whatever. But yeah, that was him. Are you saying do I agree with LeBron James?
As far as his premise, LeBron was saying you ask questions about Kyrie all the time when he said his thing.
And when it comes to right, but that's the world we live in. He's right, and they're not gonna and eventually we're not gonna be talking about this shit in the next
week,
3 days.
Yeah.
The next 3 days, we're not gonna be talking about it.
Well, that's how it goes. I brought the Brett Favre thing up too.
Robert Kraft was down there. Robert Kraft was basically doing the same shit that Sean Watson was doing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Shit, hey, he pissed off. He pissed off. Deshaun Watson pissed off the wrong person.
Yeah.
Had them bitches, and the nigga had them bitches say, "Yo, we didn't want this shit." Man, come on, man. There's too much shit out here. There's too much shit out here for them to do what they do, how they do, and not have safeguards. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't want your fucking $2 million quarterback around here tricking. No, he got appetite. They know what that nigga was, what he wanted, and it's probably some shit that all of them use. But anyway, yeah, the rules. That is the whole. I know sometimes me and you don't agree with shit, and you feel like I be like on some other shit, but that's the whole point of this. I feel like this is the whole point of that exercise. The rules are not the same for everybody.
Well, no, we agree on that 100%. It's not really that we don't disagree. It's just sometimes you'll take it a step further than I would, and I'm not saying that you're wrong. It's just I don't think about it in that deep a detail. But I agree with you 100%. The rules change. depending on the skin tone
Rules.
and the social status.
Right, and most of the shit comes down to the haves and has not. Yeah, it's color, but most of the certain people, you know, that most people of certain color are either on one of those groups. You know what I'm saying? It comes down to this. You know, that's how I believe.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like the rules are not the same for everybody.
So let me ask you something else. What do you think of Kanye West?
I think Kanye. Look, I'm gonna answer this with another question. Do you remember Mel Gibson?
Yep.
You know who that dude? Mel Gibson was one of the leading men in Hollywood. Mel Gibson is one of the leading, most famous Anglo-Saxon men you would know. And they canceled his ass for talking about the Jewish people. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not saying that he was wrong. I'm not saying he's right neither, but he got the same type of treatment that a white man would get. So, is that equality or what?
Well, I will say this. You do know what Kanye did on Friday, right? That's why he got suspended from Twitter again. He posted a SWAT sticker.
A SWAT sticker?
You know what that is, right?
Yeah. Come on now. He just doing shit. Come on now. You can't post a SWAT.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
you can't do that shit.
Right. Right.
You can't do that. Come on now. See, and that's another thing that me and you, when we sitting there, we be sipping and drunk, and we be, you know what I'm saying, we be sitting there drinking that shit, and look, it's like sometimes we forget what the purpose of this exercise is. It's supposed to be equality. Some people, I'm not saying all, some black people, they don't want equality. They want revenge. And some of them want to hear that, you know, and sometimes in the internet, so, you know, all the internet is basically everybody giving a what's the word? They unqualified opinion on some shit they not qualified to talk about. You know what I'm saying? And some shit, you know, it seems like how it is now. Anytime we say something that ain't black people better than everybody, then you kind of cancel the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I'm gonna give my unqualified opinion on something right now.
Okay.
For one, I don't agree with cancel culture because to me, cancel culture asks you to be something that no human being walking this planet is, and that's perfect. That's
right.
perfect.
I agree with you.
I don't agree with Kanye West in a sense of praising Adolf Hitler. To me, that's just dumb. I would never, you know, I was listening to a podcast from Kwame Brown, and I do listen to Kwame Brown quite frequently, when he said he doesn't, him as an individual, he doesn't praise and glorify killers. And I started thinking to myself,
I have no idea I didn't have no idea that shit happened, Brandon. Like, that shit crazy. Come on, think about what if Tim McGraw did that shit.
But this is where I'm going with this. But America itself praises killers all the time. That's what America does. America, I'm not talking about the individual, but the country as a whole praises killers all of the time. Anybody that you see running around with a fucking Confederate flag is praising killers. Up until the George Floyd incident, all Monument Avenue was paying homage to killers.
And I do you one better. They're not just killers; those are terrorists. Those are traitors.
Right. Now this is how now listen. I'm not. What do they say? I don't preach hate about anybody, but I do preach realistic talk. And I think Kyrie Irving was. Again, anything in regards to Hitler, I don't praise. But I think Kyrie Irving, they were getting excessive with him. Here's my problem.
I agree.
Here's my problem.
Because he didn't say nothing. He just posted some shit.
He just posted some
right?
shit.
Right.
This is what gets on my nerves. I don't have anything against any type of community. I don't care what black, white. Hey, listen. To me, anybody can get it. I've attacked my own people as far as Black Lives Matter, because my thing is, I don't want to hear black people shouting Black Lives Matter until black lives start mattering to black motherfucking people.
Exactly.
Now when it comes,
Go ahead.
Now when it comes to, look, to me, there are certain people in the Caucasian and the white community that just still want to see things the way that it was 50 years ago. And to those people, I say, fuck y'all. But one thing, every race does not. Every race, black race, white race, Asian race, Latino race has its pick of good, has its good people, and it has its bad people. Every race. I don't give a damn who it is.
I agree.
Now, the Jewish community, some people in the Jewish community need to get the fuck over themselves.
Okay.
Now, if I was a famous person, I would probably be canceled for this. Or, well, quote unquote canceled. If I'm ever to become famous in any type of a way, and people go back and listen to this, they would say, oh, he's anti-Semitic, whatever, however that fucking phrase goes. No, I'm not. All I'm gonna say is I don't preach anything about hate. I'm being realistic. Some people in the Jewish community need to get the fuck over themselves. This is what I would have to ask some certain Jewish individuals. What makes your community so head and shoulders above everybody else that you can't say nothing about them? Nothing. What makes, because if you want to do a tit for tat, ain't no community been more oppressed than the African American community. Period. I'm talking about in this country. I ain't talking about in Egypt and stuff like that. I'm not talking about across the water. I'm talking about in this country.
If you gonna do it. You know.
No, I'm talking about in this country. Again, no race of people is perfect. None. But what I see happening when somebody says something about the Jewish community and how they can lose everything, that's ridiculous to me.
Well, again, it goes back to my first statement: the have and have not. First of all, we wrote the book on what we like. If we as a black community say we find some offensive, can't nobody else tell us shit. It's offensive. Somebody can say peanut butter don't go with jelly. If somebody feel like that's offensive to black people, it's offensive to all, and it's just offensive. Nobody can question that shit. Nobody can say shit. Nobody can do anything about it. It's offensive, period. So we can't tell nobody else what they can be offended and what not they can be offended by. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Huh?
I don't disagree with that.
Okay, but so going back to my thing about the have and have not, my nigga, guess who got it? Guess who having it? Guess who?
Oh, the Jewish community has it.
Guess who? Okay, all right. Now I'm not saying you're supposed to placate to that, but I'm just explaining to you how that happens and why it happens the way it happens. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? But that's kind of where that shit come from. You know what I'm saying? But you know that was another one of my points. We can't tell nobody. You know, we get offended, but we can't tell nobody what's offensive to them and what's not. You're supposed to. That's the whole point of this exercise. You're supposed to respect everybody. If it's offensive to somebody, then you say, okay, my bad, and you move on. You know?
Right, but yeah, you're right, and I don't disagree with anything that you're saying. None. All I'm saying is let's have a level playing field, please. Because if you don't think that there's people in the Jewish communities that behind closed doors have said every type of nigga in the book or stereotype black people or Asian people or anybody else, you're playing yourself. All I'm saying is let's have an equal playing field.
Let me ask you this. You think all of them doing the same exact thing?
No.
Okay, then. All right. Okay.
I didn't say all. I said some. I believe in every race, there's a group of assholes. There's a group of assholes in the black community, the white community, the Asian community, the Latino community, the Middle Eastern community. There's assholes in every group. Unfortunately, the people in power in every group are usually the assholes.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately.
That's usually how you get power, being an asshole.
Well, yeah.
Until you by birth.
Well, I can go biblical and say the Lord said the world will be ran by the wicked. If that's one of the truest statements I ever heard.
Yeah, well, that's just something.
But anyway, we done got into the life topic about sports plus life. Let's talk about some football, dog. What did you take away from yesterday's action?
Well, what the fuck happened to the Dolphins? How did they? The Dolphins lost. So that little formula that we've been talking about all year, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it was good. I mean, the Dallas, they did what they supposed to do, beat the shit out of fucking Indianapolis.
Well, Indianapolis is a bad football team, and that's the Cowboys' MO. They beat up on bad teams, but when they take a step up in competition, they lose.
But you know what? Some people not as bad as we think we. Hey, you know what? We gotta forget. what the topic is, though, Brandon. It's not the Dallas Cowboys that we have a problem with. It be the fans. Like, they got a squad. You know what I'm saying? They got a squad. They did what they supposed to do.
Yeah, they did. They did exactly what they supposed to do.
I was rooting like a motherfucker for y'all when Russell Wilson ran that fucking ball. Like,
Yeah, Russell Wilson waits till the last drive to do some shit that matters.
Mm-hmm.
I am boy.
Maybe he should have been running.
Hello.
The fucking Raiders. I'm beginning to think the Raiders listen to your fucking podcast.
I think they do. I do.
This shit.
I think the Vegas Raiders are listening to this podcast because ever since Derek Carr was on the podium crying, they've been kicking ass.
They've been kicking ass. That you remind me of the nigga from fucking what's the name of that fucking show I watch? Yellowstone. He looks just like that dude. I like that show, Jack.
I do. I like that show too.
I like seeing rich white people with rich white people problems. That's good. Fucking the Redskins and the Giants game. That was a good game. You know what I'm saying?
I think that tie is going to help both of them. I do. I actually do. I think in the end result, I think it's going to help them. I think Philadelphia is playing angry because there are people that actually think the Cowboys are better than them. But I'm curious now with San Francisco because you see Garoppolo's season is over.
Hey,
huh?
Hurt. You got hurt?
Yeah, he broke his foot yesterday.
God damn, Garoppolo! Hey, that man fucking paper mache.
Yeah, he's out for the year. So he got hurt in the first quarter. They played yesterday with their backup quarterback, who was the very last draft pick in this past draft. Brock Purdy, called Mr. He's now known as Mystery Relevant.
Oh, we gotta win this motherfucking game tonight. That shit ain't gonna fly them. Oh my God. Oh, I did not know that shit.
Yeah, man.
I kind of like I ain't even turned the game. I was trying to save all my mental energy for the night and shit. But that's what's up. Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett. Am I saying his name right?
Kenny Pickett. You call him Pickett.
You saw Tomlin cuss the fan out. Hey, I love Mike Tomlin, man.
Oh yeah.
Him cuss the fan. They was up, and he said, "Yeah, what's up, go coach?" He said, "I'm fucking working." Hey, that's a Virginia boy. Get the fuck out my face.
That's right. Now you do know that Baker Mayfield just got cut today.
He did.
He got cut. So there lies the question, and I asked Tony, a.k.a. to Skip, this question too. If you're the 49ers, now that you have no Garoppolo, you have everything else, you have the roster that could win a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Do you sign Baker Mayfield for insurance?
I mean, it wouldn't. I mean, what did he say?
He said he would.
Yeah,
he said he would.
At him. They look at him. You know what I'm saying? They would look at a lot of people right now. You got, you know what I'm saying? Somebody that can. They look at him. They look at him, but you know, he got kind of. I used to like Baker Mayfield. I think I still kind of do, but I don't know.
I have nothing against him. I mean, he got a fine ass wife.
But most of them do. Yeah, they'll look at him. But who else is out there?
Well, they just signed. They had just signed our practice squad quarterback, Josh Johnson, and practice squad is where Russell Wilson needs to be. Now.
Oh, you know who they look at? If he out there somewhere, like if he's not. Let me see. Shanahan, Washington. What was that boy name? Where's Colt McCoy at right now?
He's in Arizona.
He's in Arizona. Where's Case Keenum at?
He's Buffalo.
God damn, right now you keep up with this shit.
Nah, hey man, it's just the top of my head. This is what I do, bro.
They'll look at it. Anybody that you would have to like, and I know you could probably do this, but look at who might have played with Shanahan in like Arizona or Washington and see who's their offensive coordinator. Well, their offensive coordinator is a new coordinator, so it don't matter. Somebody got to be familiar with that system. You know what I'm saying? They not gonna there's too much at stake. It ain't like they want to manage. Anybody don't want to do that, but they don't want to like fucking what's the term, like a game manager, because we
Well,
playing.
that's all you need with San Francisco's style of offense. All you need is their run-based team. All you need is somebody who won't mess it up. All you need is a game manager. The problem with Kyle Shanahan has been the only quarterback who's been able to consistently win under his system is Garoppolo.
Was Garoppolo. That man made it glass. It ain't gonna be Baker Mayfield. I mean, they'll look at him, they're gonna be happy, but they're gonna, you know what I'm saying, really look. They're gonna really look. I don't know who the fuck else is out there. What Cam Newton at?
On the couch.
On the couch.
Yeah, you go. I mean, hey, Baker Mayfield has to clear waivers, so I mean, hey, go ahead, give Cam a call.
They give Cam a call.
Yeah, give Cam. I mean, not you just put that bug in my head. Why not? Now I think about it. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
My money's on Cam. My money's on Cam Newton.
Okay, well, let's get your picks before we get out of here because I got some stuff I need to do outside of the podcast, but I want to get your picks now, brother. Raiders at Rams, Thursday Night Football.
Raiders.
Yeah, the Rams are pathetic. The Jets at the Bills.
Ooh. The Bills. So they beat them last time. They ain't going for that shit again.
All right. Cleveland at Cincinnati.
You on Cincinnati?
Yeah, I didn't mention that Cincinnati Kansas City game. I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. Cincinnati owns Kansas City. Everybody asking who's the biggest threat to Kansas City. I'm sorry, the defending AFC champions are Cincinnati, not Kansas City. Cincinnati done something Buffalo ain't been able to do. Beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoff game.
Yeah.
Houston at Dallas. We know that one. Go ahead, say Houston and make me laugh.
I'm going with the team for second.
Shut up.
I'm going with that. No, it's Dallas. They got a squad, man. They have a.
They do. You know what? They'll put up 50 more points on Houston, and everybody will brag. But I'm gonna say this: wait till Dallas sees San Francisco in the playoffs.
And they're gonna probably, without a quarterback, it's not going like you think now.
Well, hey, look. In order for San Francisco to see Dallas in the playoffs, whoever's playing quarterback now will have had to do something right.
Right. So if they get there, then they there.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Minnesota at Detroit.
Everybody gonna pick Minnesota. I'm gonna go to Detroit.
On the contrary, sir, you're the second person on this in this league to pick Detroit.
Who did that?
Huh?
Who did that?
Tony. And guess what? I'm picking Detroit too.
Son of a bitch.
Jacksonville at Tennessee.
Jacksonville.
Okay. Philadelphia at the Giants.
Ooh. Philly.
Baltimore at Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Kansas City at my pathetic Broncos.
Man, god damn y'all. Hey, man. Because I always I'm a firm, but the reason why I have a firm, I know you got to go, but anytime you put the backup quarterback in there, and you know what I'm saying, like these things, they probably have a good game, but that game don't go like it. So you've been working on shit for a week, certain shit, and they got to change what they do. So, anyway, go ahead.
Well, who you picking, Kansas City or Denver?
Come on now, Kansas City.
Okay. Your Bucks at the 49ers.
Come on with us.
As well you should, sir. Carolina at Seattle.
Come on, Seattle.
Okay. Miami at the Chargers.
Ooh. Let's see if we can. Ooh. Fuck the Chargers. Fuck it, I go with the Chargers. I ain't.
Okay. And New England at Arizona.
New England. They got a lot of shit going on.
They got a lot of shit going on. All right, well, Calvin's picks
Good.
are as follows. We got Raiders, Bills, Bengals, Cowboys, Lions, Jaguars, Eagles, Steelers, Chiefs, Bucks, Seahawks, Chargers, and the Patriots. Sound about right?
Yeah.
All right, well, sir. Hey, till next time. It's a big fight on this Saturday. Terrence Crawford fights.
Yeah, that's the dude from Texas, ain't it?
From Nebraska. A dude from Texas is Errol Spence. That's the dude he need to be fighting. But anyway, just throwing that out there if you wanted to come through.
Okay.
So he ain't showing up, y'all. Don't listen to that. But I'm messing with you. But until next time, brother.
All right, man.
All right. Big C in his house. Now, before we get out of here, let me give you my picks. Genius at work. You know I'm kicking ass and taking names in this league. Raiders at Rams. Rams are pathetic. Going with the Raiders. Jets at Buffalo. New York Jets at Buffalo. This is going to be a tough game, but I'm going to roll with Buffalo because I think Buffalo is ready to put a hammerlock on this division. Cleveland at Cincinnati. Deshaun will get better with time, but I think the Bengals are rolling. Look out for them. Houston at Dallas. Come on now, Dallas. That would be the funniest shit ever if Houston beat Dallas. I'm going with the Cowboys, unfortunately. Minnesota at Detroit. I'm taking that upset. I'm taking the Lions. They're playing good ball. Jacksonville at Tennessee. Going with the Titans. Philly at the Giants. Come on now. Bird gang, biatch. All right, I'm going with the Eagles. Ravens at Steelers. This is tough because I don't know if Lamar is playing or not, but I'm going to go with Baltimore. KC at Denver. I'm not picking my Broncos to win another fucking game this season. When I was talking to Calvin yesterday when the Broncos was up 9-3, and I told him, I said, we will find a way to fuck it up. And sure enough, we did. Bucks at 49ers. 49ers now are the most intriguing team to me in the NFL with their quarterback situation, but I'm going to pick them to beat Tampa Bay because of that number 1 ranked defense. Carolina at Seattle. I'm going with Seattle. Carolina, hell. Somehow, some way, they're still in their division league because their whole division is trash. Miami at the Chargers. I'm going with Tua. This is an interesting matchup because all we heard the last 2 seasons is, hey, Miami should have drafted Justin Herbert instead of Tua. Well, guess what? It looks like Tua is going to be the one going to the playoffs, and Justin Herbert, for as talented as he is, they don't seem to win games that matter. So I'm going with the Dolphins. The Patriots at the Cardinals, I don't know. I don't care. I'm going to pick the Patriots to win the game. So with that being said, with a buzzer. Okay. I told you guys this was going to be a jam-packed show, and the things that we talked about needed to be talked about, especially with that Jerry Jones, LeBron James, even threw a little bit of Kanye West up in there, but definite shout out to my bros for definitely being available to talk that talk. And again, I hope everybody has a wonderful and safe week. I did not sing a Christmas tune yet because I want to get my jaw fully is healed up. I got to get a couple of teeth yanked. But I will be back next week when I start the show. I will lead off with a Christmas tune like I've done over the last couple of years. But be that as it may, it's your boy, Brandon Brevon Towns. Definitely hit that like button and that subscription button and become part of the Sports Plus Life family, as well as the Brevon Towns family, because I be dropping them DJ mixes on YouTube on the reg, and I got a new one in the works. I think I want to put one out right before Christmas, and I'm coming with that end of the year joint for 2022. So again, it's your boy, Brandon Brevon Towns. I'm out there, beer. Peace. Love ya.